All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Market Prep. I hope you guys are having an amazing morning. Hope you guys had an incredible and amazing weekend. Good morning, Peter. How are you doing today?
Hey, good morning, Carlos. Yeah, I'm doing great. Had a very busy, well, sort of a busy weekend. Spent all day yesterday. Was at a friend's cottage, to start the weekend, and then came back yesterday and was outside doing yard work all day, 12 hours of it. It was exhausting. My shoulders are killing me.
Yeah. I did some yard work myself this weekend too, man. Weather was great. But yeah, it's not doesn't get easier as we age a little bit more and more. That's for sure.
It is not my favorite. People that love gardening,
Yeah.
God bless them, but I don't understand it. The gardening is just a chore. Why do people enjoy it? I can't figure that out.
Yeah, my wife started gardening. We actually had some tacos yesterday with some fresh lettuce she picked off. But it's very small. It's not this gigantic thing like my neighbor in the front. She could open up a farmer's market. It's not that. It's a small little thing, and it's not a lot of work. But yeah, people love this stuff, man. It's
I
wild.
love gardening. I don't
Yeah,
I don't get it myself, but
yeah,
hey, they do then. All
yeah.
right.
Like we will say, you do you. There we go. That's what me
Yeah.
and Peter would tell you. You do you, my friend.
Yeah.
Uh, Guys, welcome. Happy Monday to everybody out there over on YouTube and also in our chat. Glad to see you here as we start off. Hopefully, if it's anything anywhere close to half of what we had last week, we're gonna have a great week. 'Cause, man, it was an awesome week last week. We had a lot of fun, a lot of great trades, just a lot of beautiful opportunities. I think a lot of you guys did well too. Here's our gappers list to kick off this week. We got a bunch of stuff in the green here this morning, just hood in the red. We'll see what's driving that. It could just be, and I haven't looked at it yet. This thing has been high flying and hitting some big numbers. So it just could be some profit take, a little pullback here. But definitely what we'll take a look at. And then everything else in the green, other stuff that we know. A lot of aviation stuff this morning, Peter. ACHR, Joby's on here as well. So these two kind of in the same sector there. And we'll dive into everything else that's on here. Before we do that, friends, U.S. economic data. Peter, what do we have for today?
Yeah, it's a pretty quiet day. Not much happening. The only thing we have is wholesale inventories at 10 o'clock. I added the Fed GDP now, but it's really a big secondary activity, if at all. So yeah, very quiet today. Not a lot of earnings either. So yeah, I think look. There's enough news going on out there that I suppose we don't need the economic data. I was following all weekend the craziness that's happening in California with I guess the National Guard's been called out now, and oh my goodness, what is happening? It's pandemonium.
Yeah,
But
it's a madness
we'll
out there, man.
And I mention it because then it depends on what impact that's going to have on the markets, right? Like I don't know how the markets are going to react to that. Typically, well, I can't say typically because we don't have never had this type of event, but usually with like I think about what happened on in January with the insurrection activities and that, like it's typically the market sort of shrugs that stuff off, but I don't know anymore. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. It can have an effect for sure. We'll definitely be paying attention. All right, let's jump in, friends. We have our gappers list brought to you by tradingterminal.com. Let's start with the top and what's green this morning. First on deck is UMAC. So UMAC, we've seen this ticker before. Typically does not trade well. As far as intraday trading, up 16%, 1 million shares traded so far. Peter, daily has had some pretty good activity I'm seeing. What's going on with this one today?
UMAC is a funny one because it's a company called Unusual Machines, and it's sort of a low float. I see just under 20 million shares available for trading on this. So it's I guess you got to consider it risky, but apparently they have leased a 17,000 square foot drone motor plant near Orlando. First off, there are drone motor plants available for leasing. That seems like news to me. But anyways, apparently I assume that they leased a place that they've turned into a drone motor production facility. But anyways, the news is it looks like they're going to be making more drones.
Hmm.
So that's good news
Okay,
for
that's
them.
good news for them.
I'm not sure it's good
Interesting.
news for us. The air will be filled with drones.
Yeah, yeah. We'll see. UMAC. Again, I don't know how well this thing is going to trade, so I'm going to keep it off my list, guys. If you do like it, low price stock, flow also at 19 million, so a little bit on the lower side. If you like it, go ahead, put on yours, but I'm going to skip it for mine. We got more aviation stuff here, Peter. We have Archer Aviation. We have Joby. Looks like aviation stuff getting active. So let's go to Joby. Sorry, HCHR. So ACHR this morning. We're up 12% to 12.4, 2.6 million shares traded right now. Again, they can move. They can move. If they get enough volume, they can possibly become a great intraday trading ticker. This 2.6 does make it interesting. They have been up here before. If you look off the daily, can today be their day, Peter? What's your thoughts on this?
You know, I'm not sure. Look, I mean, the news. So all of these drone companies are in the news today. A drone. I'm not sure they call Joby a drone company because they're building these autonomous taxis. But it seems anybody in this space is getting a lift because the White House announced they had an executive order that was called, and I will quote, "Unleashing American Drone Dominance." Yep, that's the name of the executive order. So which not only are they looking at drones, but they've also said that they're going to support I don't know how you're supposed to say this, evtol, anyways, electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft. So bottom line, anything that looks drone like, they say we want dominance in this space, which is interesting. Interesting for these companies. How that's going to manifest itself, it's really hard to say because while there is this executive, I can't use air quotes, it was a real executive order, but it didn't have any money behind it. So, what does it actually mean? What does dominance look like? Are we flooding the sky with drones? Well, probably not in the short term, but we're seeing Archer, we're seeing Joby, we're seeing the announcement from UMAC we just talked about. There seemed to be some opportunity there. So what I'm most interested in, is it going to create a tradable opportunity? And that's more of a question, right? Like, I'm not sure that Wall Street's going to take this seriously, to be honest, to put big money behind it, which will continue these things moving up once the opening bell rings. My gut is that this will probably, it's sort of fun and a few people are jumping in, which is creating pre-market activity. But once the market opens, I think these are just going to die off. But I could be wrong. I don't know. Maybe there's more to this than I'm giving credit for.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I do like the volume early this morning, and I was looking at the daily. They do seem to get some pretty good days. Like, not often. A lot of their days are very small like this. This is why me and Peter usually don't watch it. They're very small movements. But, mid of May, they had a nice big day here, 91 million. And since then, the volume has been just slightly higher. So maybe there's a change in what's happening here. We'll have to wait and see. Could be a great secondary, but my hopes are not too high on this one. So great secondary for now, and we'll see what if we can get anything out of it. Another one that's also in that world is Joby. So we'll look at that one next. JOBY, Peter, and this is up also 9.2, 2.2 million shares traded. Again, a little bit messy intraday trading, but ever since end of May, mid-May, these guys are alongside Archer Aviation are getting more volume.
Yeah, again, we just seem to get random little bits of news that are pushing them up, which I think is keeping that volume higher. But so far, I have not found a tradable opportunity on any of them. So I just don't think today is going to be different. I'd like to think I'm wrong, but probably not.
Yeah,
Probably
agree.
not.
History has shown otherwise. I
Yeah.
don't like this one. I definitely like ACHR a little bit better, much better than Joby. And then we'll see if that can turn the corner and become tradable. Looking at our gappers list, friends, brought to you by tradingterminal.com. If you just join in, you can always go there and get scanners completely free at the market open. There's a bunch more that become active, so definitely take a look at that. Let's look at RCAT is next. Actually, no, let's back up. I see IonQ is gaining some traction here, making its way up. So IonQ's got a very active pre-market activity, friends. Up 10% and climbing, 2.7 million shares traded. So this is looking really, really nice here. So how about the other quantum stocks? I see QBT also doing some things. Yeah, quantum is in play today, looks like, Peter. We'll be watching them. We love the way these stocks trade. For Getty, it's on here as well. Not moving as much as IonQ and some other ones. What's going on in that world, Peter?
We got some acquisitions. I mean, IonQ's in the news that they've been buying a few companies here, and it looks like they are buying another company called Oxford Ionics. So it's just over $1 billion, 1.08, we'll call it $1 billion here, and yeah, they're continuing their acquisition of. I guess they're trying to get some mastery in the space. They also had an announcement of a deal. It looks like I'm just seeing this now. They're helping AstraZeneca accelerate drug development. So this is interesting. How they're going to be using their technology to try and accelerate the research on a couple of drugs. So. They're throwing some big names around because apparently this is a collaborative research between IonQ, AstraZeneca, Amazon Web Services, so AWS, which I'm sure is providing the compute backbone, and NVIDIA. Now, NVIDIA is involved in everything, but it's always good to put their name in a press release, right? You can throw that name in there, and that's a good thing, especially. And we were looking at, well, maybe we should come back to NVIDIA later, but they're fighting for market dominance, trying to be the biggest gorilla in the cage right now. So, anyways, we'll come back to that. But anyways, the news on IonQ, an acquisition and a partnership.
Yeah, Nvidia is in everything, man. If I owned the company, I would just be walking into the Nvidia headquarters, and everything I release is going to have Nvidia on it, just for the AI to catch something. Just Nvidia. Everything. I walked by Nvidia today. It had nothing to do with the report that I'm releasing, but Nvidia is on there, and I'll make sure to use the ticker NVDA. But yeah, how well these things are going to trade, who knows? But I do like IonQ. It's looking pretty nice this morning. I mean, it's rocking. Look at this pre-market prep here. It's pre-market action at the moment. 11.4, looks like it wants to go to 12. 3 million shares traded. Looks really, really nice. So IonQ on the main list here. And then some other ones you can look at that might be benefiting from this is QUBT is the next one on there that I can quickly see as far as quantum. And they also have a great pre-market access. So I'll put both of these on there. They both can trade very well. And as you know, there's some other ones you can also look at. But I'm going to go with these two for today. So let's just add on here QUBT as well. All right, let's take a look at what else. And on the gappers list, next we have on here PDYN. This is going to be Paladine AI. Doesn't look good at all. Looks very messy. Got 200,000 shares traded. They're up 8%. They're just barely making our list here. I don't like this one, Peter.
No, I mean, I've never heard of them. It seems odd that they just popped up today, but I don't know. They apparently were named the sole finalist in the robotics and automation category for annual National Center for Manufacturing Science and Technology competition. Like a lot of these geeky science competitions, they need some better naming. Anyways, all right. So apparently, I'm not sure how to take this company seriously that they're winning science fairs, but that apparently is the news.
There you go. It looks like garbage, guys. We'll leave this alone. All right. So far we cover a couple of things here off this gappers list. Going back to it, I do see there's some Bitcoin stuff in here. I do have a couple of them on decks. Let's take a look at them. I have Mara, and there's some other ones on here. I thought I saw some other ones as well, but only Mara now. So let's take a look at Mara. What's going on there? WRD, I think it's another one too. If I look down here, that they're up as well. But Mara is leading the way. They're up 3.4 million shares traded. CleanSpark is also on here. Iren, okay, there they are. I missed them, but it's a bunch of them on here this morning. Slightly moving higher. Peter, are these guys in play today? And do you like any of them?
Um, I mean, Bitcoin prices are up, so that could be why. I had a good conversation about cryptocurrency this weekend in our joyous state. I'll say Friday night we had a good argument over not an argument, an active discussion over cryptocurrency and stablecoin. There may have been a lot of scotch involved. There may have been some gummies involved. It was, anyways. It was an active conversation, and yeah, it was fascinating. But all that being said, nothing to do with the markets here this morning. We are seeing prices higher, almost back up to 108,000 on Bitcoin, and yeah, it's moving. So that's going to lift a lot of these that are involved in the sector. Look, until these companies are not going to start to take off really until Bitcoin prices start to really get over the average acquisition price that a lot of these companies have been stuck in, right? Because they've been acquiring a lot, and hopefully their acquisition price is under 100,000. But we've been stagnating in this range just over 100,000 for what, like two and a half, almost 3 weeks now. So yeah, it's been a little while. We need some movement here. We got to get up over 110 and to the moon. We keep saying that, but the moon seems pretty far away these days.
It sure does. But yeah, some of these are moving here this morning. I don't know if I like any of them. I think the best one right now seems to be Mara, and even then, it doesn't look all that great. So I won't have it on my list, but there is a lot of them on here today. So if you do like any of these, you can definitely take a look at them. But I'm gonna skip on that for now. All right, that kind of covers our gap up list. A lot on here that I know we looked at before that don't trade well. NBIS, Rocket Lab, Iron. I mean, there's just a bunch. CrowdWeave is great for entertainment. We did trade that one time last week, so could be nice to put that one on. We'll look at that one and then we'll hand it off to you, Peter, on what you like. Let's look at CoreWeave. Excuse me, not CrowdWeave.
Yeah.
CoreWeave. Yeah, that's the name. It's so close to that CRWD, which is the different one. Strike. Here we are, friends. This thing is moving up 4.3, 518,000 shares traded so far. Still hard to borrow. We did see some shares last week here and there, about 25,000, sometimes for 40,000, but not a whole lot. Again, it just continued to be in play. Peter, what's your thoughts on this?
It does continue to be in play, and I mean, it still actually looks good this morning. In a morning where we don't have a lot happening, it seems to be getting a little bit of attention. We've got 500,000 shares traded. Had this interesting move up just a couple of minutes ago. Again, don't know what caused that particularly, but a good $3 move. And yeah, I think it's worth keeping an eye on, especially when you have a quieter market as we have today. Looks like a good candidate.
Yep, absolutely. CrowdWeave. Duke says CRWD and CRWV, if they were to merge, that would be the name. CrowdWeave.
Yeah, Carlos, did you just announce a merger? Is that what?
I know nothing. Oh my goodness! Can you imagine? I'm sure in the past it has been somebody that spilled the beans and people were able to hopefully make some money out of that, right? I mean, that has to have happened by mistake. You say
sure.
something that's like, wait a minute, what did you say? Okay, here we go. We're going all in. All right, CRWV. I'm gonna have that on my secondary list. It's fun to watch. I mean, I traded it once. We didn't get the breakout we needed, but it is fun to watch. It is in play. We'll see how that goes. Peter, we'll go to you. What do you like off this gap up list, or something that might not be on here?
I mean, I've got no earnings. I really don't have anything, particular that's moving. I think the semis continue to look good this morning. They're up a little more than average, I would say, between about 1% and 2%, depending which one you're looking at, whether it's NVIDIA, AMD, or even SMCI. They're all moving with decent volume this morning. So that feels like it's a good sector to play. Most, but not all, of the Magnificent Seven are moving higher. Exceptions to that would include Tesla and Microsoft, but yeah, I think they're worth playing. I like, I don't know, I like sort of this battle between Microsoft and Nvidia. I'm not sure if it's really a battle that anybody's actively fighting, but I like to pretend that it is. And this is for the largest company in the publicly traded world. So Microsoft still barely holds the title here at 1 point. What are they sitting at? They're sitting at, sorry, 3.4. Anyways, they're both $3.4 trillion companies right now, and Microsoft is at 3.49 trillion, whereas Nvidia is sitting at 3.45 trillion. So they're so close. They're both sitting in this space, and I'm just waiting. And Nvidia, if it has a good day, it could easily overtake Microsoft. I mean, hey, it's only $40 billion. Come on, man, that's easy. That's a
It's
Monday.
easy.
But for me, it's just sort of fun to keep measuring their market caps and see the point at which Nvidia gets to claim the throne. But Microsoft just continue to slowly do its thing here, because it's actually been trading very well over the last couple of weeks. Microsoft pretty much at all-time highs here. Actually, I think it is at all-time highs right now. So yeah, it's they're not giving up. They don't want to give up the title.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. It's insane. Can you imagine being at Nvidia when you thinking about when you first started this, a gaming chip company, doing
Yeah.
this big? That is awesome. All right. I definitely gonna have Nvidia on our list. It's a great one to look at. Although lately I have not traded as much as I would like. We had a couple of great trades, but not as many trades as we would like on it. So let's see. Next one is you did mention, you mentioned Max 7, so I think of Tesla as well. Obviously, this thing has been very active. Right now we have 6.8 million shares traded, so this will be on my list as well. There's just so much going on here as far as the stock itself, drama, Elon, this, that, you name it. Tesla's going through it and is providing us great opportunities like it did last week. I mean, this was awesome for us last week. So definitely will be in play on my watch list today. All right, let's take a look at our gap down list. It's not a lot here at the moment, just Hood. So we'll see what's happening there. Let's take a look at Hood today. And again, I know they've been crushing. If you look at this daily, these guys have been tearing it up, hitting 77. It's not all-time highs, and I think Andrew was one that mentioned this. They on the IPO, the second day they went up to like 85, right? So our all-time high is a little bit higher, but clearly 52-week high. I mean, they're crushing it. I mean, I don't give this that much credit. This is just the mania of people jumping in on IPO. So yeah, I get it. You went there, but it's not like it is now. Right now, you're actually moving in that direction, right? So, but not all-time highs, 52-week highs, still exciting. As we have really, if you look at this weekly chart, I mean, they just have been doing so well all last year and into this year especially. So, Peter, I like this one. Any news on why they're gapping down today?
Well, yeah, they look. There was rumor, speculation, if you will, that they were going to be included in the S&P 500 this week. Or over the weekend, the announcement came out as to, well, basically there was an announcement saying we've got no changes to the S&P 500 listing, which means that Hood is not going to be included, at least not in the immediate term. So it doesn't really affect their fortunes that much. They'll just continue operating as they're operating, but it's for those that were hoping that it was going to be included, which would give the stock a boost, they got to keep waiting.
Yeah. That's not good. A little bit of a drop here, but overall they've been doing well. Just aside from
they're
that.
doing fine.
So is it? I think this would be in play just because that could create some volatility. So I'm gonna put this on here. I'm gonna put Hood, maybe not on the main list, maybe a secondary. Who knows how well this is going to do as far as intraday trading. So let's see what happens on the secondary list for now. All right. With that said, Peter, that's all we have on the gap down list. Anything else? Oh, look who showed up! Tesla.
Yeah,
we have it already, but there it is.
Yeah, I mean, we only talked about Tesla in passing. There's no real news out of Tesla that I've seen. Like, there's no corporate news. Remember, this week though is when they are supposed to launch the robotaxi. Now, with all the other like stuff, I'll say that's just happening here, I'm not sure that this is a good week to be launching your robotaxi. But I mean, hey, look, it's been long planned. We haven't heard from the company that they are planning to postpone it, but there's been speculation that they might postpone it. So, yeah, we'll have to see what happens. Again, that's Thursday. I think that's supposed to happen in Austin, Texas, where these things are going to hit the streets. So, yeah, I mean, I look. Tesla's always in play. It's worth to continue to watch. There's going to be some news about it, probably, right? Because they did get a couple of downgrades this weekend because of the war of words that Elon and Trump are having. Surprisingly, that quieted down over the weekend, didn't it? Like last week was just was like a high school scene, and it seems like whatever. Somehow somebody took away their phones and put them both on timeouts because they were quiet over the weekend.
Yeah, they're pretty quiet. But the stock is moving pretty well here, down 2%, 6.9 million shares traded. Again, definitely already on my list. Should be a lot of fun. All right, that covers everything. Peter, as far as gap down, anything else besides Tesla that you like that maybe we haven't covered?
I mean, Netflix gapping down this morning. Not usually a good pre-market trader, and like as usual, not a lot of volume. I only mentioned. I mean, it is gapping down a little bit. It actually officially it had a red day on Friday, but it sort of started at all-time highs and then moved down. Netflix has just been running and gunning. The only problem with it just doesn't get enough volume to be an awesome trader. So, which is too bad because it would be fun trading at all-time highs the way it does, but yeah, it's but other than that, sorry, I don't have. Oh, how about PLTR? We haven't talked about PLTR this morning. It's gapping down, not on any particular news, just happens to be down a little bit. So it's always good for potential trades. At least good to keep an eye on as part of your stable stocks, right? Carlos, like we've talked, we like PLTR. Just because it's been so much more active than it had been in the past, and it's now on my sort of permanent watch list.
Yeah, PLTR has been a lot of fun, man. It's been just incredible. So I'm gonna put it on my list as well. Already 1.4 million shares traded. Pre-market activity, you can see is moving here. But yeah, I like it. Like it will be on the list there. All right, let's see here. PLTR. I'm gonna update my banner in just a second with the rest of the stuff on here, but PLTR going on here as well. All right, I think we're set, man. Let's go to you guys. Let's go over to the chat, see what you guys like this morning, starting with our chat room here. CRWV moving, I bet. I do have it on my secondary list, and this stock is it's fun. It's fun. The daily as high as what we did, 166. I mean, just the last 2 months, this thing has just been wild. So not the easy stock to trade. My first trade on it was we had a small red trade on it for the first time. We'll see. Let's see what happens. But definitely fun to watch. Will be on my secondary list here in just a second. Tesla we have. That's good. What else, friends? Are we looking at what do we have here? SVRE. Yes, I know some of you guys are looking at that in chat. Low flow stock. This kind of fell apart now. It's just kind of dropping here. I know Jared put a chart up. He was waiting for the actual consolidation and breakout, but it didn't happen, right? So it is kind of falling apart now. But here's Jared's chart over in our chat room. There we go. So he was has his level set, waiting for that breakup, but never got his signal, I believe. So it's not really in play right now. So when it starts doing this, it looks ugly. So be very, very careful. All right, let's see what else, friends. What else you guys like this morning? Let's take a look.
I see mention of CRCL. That's a recent IPO that we were talking about. It gave rise indirectly, or I suppose, to our new podcast. Carlos, have we settled on a name for it?
We do. That is our name. That is where did I put my little thing here?
Yeah, didn't you have a little icon that you created?
I did. What did I do with it? I had it here.
Anyways, we'll have to find that. But yeah, CRCL, it actually been trading fairly well. Friday it did like 60 million shares traded and some decent price action. Not easy to get into, especially not at the beginning of the day, I would say, but it definitely had some opportunity. So
yeah, it sure did.
Might play again today. It's tough to say, right?
We'll have to keep an eye on it. But yeah, friends. Again, I won't play something like that. I'll watch it for entertainment purposes. But again, I won't trade. But look at the price. It's just wild right now. the way this thing is moving. Let's take a look here. We have WBD. We'll do a few more. WBD. This is Warner Brothers. Oh, they got the deal right there. They're splitting. One partner's the CFO is taking one side of the company. The CEO is moving to another side of the company, and they're splitting this up. And I did not even know that ESPN and TNT and all this stuff is involved with CNN. It's just a big change that's happening here. I guess Warner Brothers is benefiting from it. So I still think they're not going to trade well. Usually these companies don't trade all that well. And I don't expect them to be any good as far as day trading. I think we'll find better stuff in the stuff that we're looking at right now. Peter, what's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, again, they are announcing the split of their TV from the movie business stuff. I think it's going to be a difficult trader. It doesn't typically, trade all that well. So I have no reason to expect that today is going to be any better than any other day, really.
Yeah, and I thought we were supposed to. I want to combine things. I don't want to be splitting and having to get more memberships for stuff that we like. We're going backwards here, I think. But this seems to be like a good move as far as everybody's concerned. But yeah, we're going backwards, man. I want to combine things. I want to go back to one cable company with everything in it. That's the way to go. All right, but yeah, friends, that's over on our chat. Let's look at what we have here on YouTube. I saw some good ones here. RKLB, excuse me. This is Rocket Lab. Very, very active. Over the last couple of days, we have seen this thing move a bit here. Still up 5%. Has been losing some since the pre-market highs here. 2.1 million shares traded. This could be fun. Could be in play. I do like the daily. We have been moving quite a bit. Could be in play. I got space in the secondary list to throw this in. So RKLB on the secondary list for now. We'll see what happens. APLD was very active last week. If you guys remember, this is a stock that was high flying, going away from like 7, was just kind of hanging out here at 7, then took off, went all the way to about 15.50, and then right back down to 14. It looks like we do have shifts for short today. Yeah, we do plenty. So yeah, this is very active. It's going on this week and a half of just increased volume, and obviously the moves have been pretty good on this one. Peter, I forgot what the news was on this Applied Material. I'm not sure if you remember, but obviously it's moving on some
That was
catalysts.
earlier it was last week when we had that news. I go back into my own notes. Probably the fastest way to find it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they had a deal with CoreWeave, that $15 billion data center deal.
Yes. There we go. Yep. So they're looking good. They're in play. I got so many right now. It's got to go on my secondary list for now. We can fine tune it a little bit later and look into how can we take advantage of that. All right, friends. Let's take a look at what's happening here. But before we do that, Peter was mentioning earlier our show that's coming out. Here's a quick announcement of our show
There it is.
segment.
Risky Weapons on Wall Street. Yeah.
That's gonna be a very spicy
Yeah,
podcast.
I guess we got to get moving on that. Maybe that's where we can do all our controversial conversation. We can see how
Oh,
many
yeah.
people we can
Oh
offend.
yeah. Rants after rants. That can actually work out. That can actually work out pretty well. All
I
right,
like that
friends.
logo. I mean, I would, I get some shirts with that. I think we should.
It is. I like the logo. I mean, I'm telling you, if you are in graphics design, and that's all you do, you're in trouble. You're in trouble with AI. AI is a problem. Like this looks really good. Now, I'm sure there's other things you could do that AI cannot do. So,
Sure.
but you just got to stay ahead of the game. Got to stay ahead of the curve because this is good competition for you. It's just gonna make you better. I know you're great if you're listening. You just gotta, be aware what's possible here.
Are you like pandering to marketing people now?
I'm just letting you know, man. It did this in 2 seconds. Like
Yeah.
it looks good, right? Look at the bar, like the bars there that look like shotgun bullets or whatever that is.
Yeah.
It's good. Looks good. All right, friends. Let's take a look here. You will buy that shirt, right? Anna says she will buy that shirt. There you go. And can you imagine a nice brown hat, UPS brown with that on it? Just awesome. The merchandise is coming out pretty soon, guys. So we're gonna get this going. All right, hey, let's go over to our website, bearbrootraders.com. If you click on webinars at the top, you can see what's happening for every day for the next 2 weeks, right? Today we'll focus on Monday, but if you scroll down, you see everything that we have going on. And again, just a lot of stuff happening every single week. Today's Monday, and Peter will run you through it.
All right, guys, it's Monday, like he said, and that means that we get our onboarding and tech focus today. We're going to start midday here with Avi doing a live trading session at 11. Speaking of live trading, I'm also live trading with our friends at Peak Capital Trading in about 10 minutes. I got to jump over there. We'll be trading live with them. So if you're at Peak Capital Boot Camp, then I'll see you there. But if you're staying here at Bear Bull Traders, then at noon you can take advantage of our DAS Trader Pro tips and tricks session. That's led by Brendan. That's in the onboarding room for all member categories. And then tonight we have our signature event in the evening, which is the onboarding class. Carlos sort of welcomes everybody, gives you a rundown of what you can expect with your membership, how to get the most value from it, and talk about trading basics, right? How to get into it, where you should start, where you can focus. It's a great interactive session, so feel free to join. Again, that's for all membership classes, so hopefully you'll join him at that session. That's at 8 o'clock, by the way, in the webinar room. What you can do any time of day, and you don't need an invite, just go to bearbulltraders.com, and then you can look up the membership options to join us as part of the Bear Bull trading community. It's a great community, and we have the intro offer, the basic, the elite monthly, and the elite annual, 4 different classes of membership you can look at taking, which will all give you different levels of access to the material and the benefits. So whenever you get a chance, check it out, and hopefully we'll see you in the chat room sometime soon.
All right, absolutely. Thank you so much, Peter. All right, friends, let's get some levels in place and we can get rocking and rolling here. So we'll start with IonQ. So my list so far, just to recap, I have IonQ, I have QUBT, NVIDIA, Tesla, and PLTR. So let's start with IonQ. That is the main list this morning. It's my priority list, primary list. Starting with the high of the pre-market here, we're going to slam it over at 43.80, 43.90 is the high of the pre-market. And you can see here, the last couple of minutes, we've been moving really, really well ever since 7 a.m. actually. So increased volume there, looking nice. And a lot of these other tickers are doing good as well, getting more volume. But IonQ seems to be the better one. I do have QUBT next. We'll look at that in a second. As far as the daily goes, towards the bottom, you do have the highs and lows here for the last 2 trading days. Previous day close on there as well, creating a bunch of levels for you as far as support that we're breaking out of today. And then here we're going to have 41.80. 82, nice level there. Not a major level, but there's a couple of days are running into that price, 41.82. You want to have that marked down. Above our pre-market high, which kind of covers some of these errors here on the daily. Clearly here, you're going to have this down. Might be 46.06. You can see there how many days are closing, opening right around that area. So you definitely want to have that noted there. And clearly, you got a major level up here of resistance. Every time the stock comes up here, has had a hard time getting above that 48.74. Today could be one of those days. This stock is known when it gets volume. Look how nice it can run, so it can put on some big days if it's in it. Lately has not been all that great. Look how small these candlesticks are on the daily. But it can get going pretty nicely. Today's setting up to be one of those days if it can hold here. Next on here is going to be another quantum, QUBT. This one also trades very well. Highs and lows towards the bottom, creating a lot of support for us there. So we don't really need to add a whole lot down there. The only area I see where we might want something in case we do lose the previous day close and head lower is this 1327. You have a day closing there. One also finding a lot of rejection and heading back the other way right off that 13.27. Right now, pre-market high, pre-market low is pretty much where your previous day close and high for yesterday is, so you don't got to worry about that. But your pre-market high, 14.96, we can definitely put a level there and see how this thing is going to go here. Now, we have been higher. We had if you guys remember December, January timeframe, this thing just took off. We do have a major level coming up above this 14.96. We do have a major area right here, 16.66. Look at how much support you have there, so that could be interesting as well. Plus, we also have this 18.42 area also. So again, it will be a stretch to get there, but this thing has seen better days for sure. Let's take a look at NVIDIA here. And NVIDIA right now, we're up 1.2 this morning, so some good volume off the daily. We do have plenty of support, highs and lows for the last 2 trading days here, so you got plenty happening as far as that. I'm going to mark the high of the pre-market, and once you do that, that's pretty much all you need in this area, right? Which is looking to hopefully break out. We've been getting higher lows here, and just kind of using this 143.58 as resistance. The few times we've been there, we have had a tough time getting above that. It is not your all-time highs. We've been higher back in November, December time frame. If you run to the back here, you can see 145.38, a good area. Also 147.26 as well. So let's keep those there just in case we do get a nice move on NVIDIA, which has been doing very, very well. All right, one more here. Actually, two more. Let's look at Tesla. Tesla right now, high of the pre-market 290. Nope, it's got to be higher. Yes, it is all the way up here. Actually, it's in the green. The high of the pre-market is in the green at 296.92, and then the low of the pre-market 285.58. And once you do that, you are pretty set on Tesla here. Excuse me, Tesla. And then towards the bottom, you do have the highs and lows for the last 2 trading days here as well. So there you go. You're all set up on Tesla. Next is going to be PLTR. PLTR, great movement. Did dip quite a bit here in the pre-market. Has recovered, trying to get into the green. Low of the pre-market so far is 125.82. And then towards the bottom here on the daily, you do have an area that's worth marking. It's going to be this 123.72. You got a lot happening here. A lot of days opening and closing on this level there. It's funny, if you look at PLTR without watching it the way we have been every single day, you would think it's a little bit choppy in here. But even through this, it trades very well. I mean, this is 120 to 125. So that's a $5 move on that candle. So again, if you look at it close, just, really quick, you think it's a choppy ticker, but it actually does very, very well. So POTR on the list, and that's the last one I'm going to have here. All right, Peter, take us through what our team is watching. And I know you have live trading with Bootcamp today. So let me sure you get to that quickly. And you're on mute, Peter?
I'm on mute. Darn it.
I got you now, yeah.
I did it again. Looking at that, we have an unusual IPO scheduled for today. Normally Monday we don't get any IPOs. So anyways, all right. So I'll let you guys know when the IPO happens. But our moderators are starting to get their list. And I'll start with mine right at the bottom because I'm going to be watching NVIDIA, Tesla, and PLTR, as well as Microsoft, IonQ, and CRCL, that recent IPO. You got to give Jared credit. He was the one that sort of was watching that first. And he was there before it was cool. All right, Lenny is in with his list as usual. He's got the big list watching AMD, NVIDIA, Tesla, Amazon, IonQ, Hood, and OKLO. Thor is going to be watching the futures as he usually does. Nathan's going to be watching Magnificent 7 and AMD. Jared, like I mentioned, watching CRCL, Tesla, Hood, and the ARK, ARKK ETF. Interesting. And that's it. We need more moderators with their list in. I'm sure they'll be getting there. Carlos has got his list at the bottom of the screen. As you can see, he's watching Archer Aviation, maybe. He's got Hood on there. He's got QUBT, PLTR, and the rest. So we got some selections. Despite being a fairly quiet day today so far, right? We've got some opportunities. So hopefully we'll find the right things to trade. Whatever you do, again, don't rush the day. We got a whole week. Right? The world is our oyster. Yes, don't feel that you got to rush in and make a trade if you're not seeing anything right at the open. Take your time. There's time. And we'll get there together.
There sure is. All right. Thanks, Peter, man. I appreciate that. As Peter goes to trade with the bootcamp team. Awesome, yes. Man. All right. Excellent. All right, friends, I see Brian is getting ready to go here. Andrew will be also trading live in our chat, and we're going to continue here right on YouTube, take you guys through the market open. So I'm just going to start getting ready here with my 5-minute charts and my 1 minute. So we got the 5, we got the 1, and we'll be good to go here. All right. Sweet. All right, welcome guys over on YouTube. Welcome. If you haven't you're just joining us, good to see you guys. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, really appreciate it, and it helps us out a ton. Where are we today? I have not even looked at what that looks like today, so we'll check in a second. And today we have after Andrew and Brian, we do have Thor here on YouTube. So Thor is going to be coming on YouTube today, and that should be exciting. What is my average position? 250, 500, depends on the price and how volatile the stock is. In some cases, I gotta go even lower. Like with CRWV, you guys saw last week CRWV. I traded 100 shares. You gotta go low on that thing. And even then I was like, man, this moves. This moves. So with that stock, you got to be careful. It's not your regular Nvidia where you could take a little more shares, or Tesla. It is just the volatility you got to be definitely ready for. So be mindful of that. All right, just checking here what else we got going on. All right, perfect. I'm just make sure we got everything ready. So here's my one. Let's look at the 1 minute here for YouTube and my list. I forgot to update my secondary list. Let me do that. My secondary list is Archer. I do have CR. Speaking of CRWV, right? Very risky. Careful with that one. We have Rocket Lab, RKLB, and we have APLD, which has been very active already with almost 3 million shares traded. So this one is fun. This one is a lot of fun. So we'll see what happens. All right, very good. We'll get rid of all of this, and let's see how this week kicks off. We had a great week last week. I'm hoping that it continues as far as opportunities, and we'll see where it goes. All right, I see Brian is loading up, guys. Over in chat, take care, trade safe. I'll see you guys a little bit later. All right, so I'm just disconnecting from our members chat. If you do want to see Andrew and Brian trade live, you can always head to bearwoodtraders.com, and you can see those guys do their thing there. All right, we'll get this out the way, and perfect. All right, guys, how are we feeling this week? How's everyone doing? Hopefully great weekend, restful weekend. Ready to battle these markets again. Jillian, good morning. Yep, had a good weekend. Thank you. Excited for the week. Yeah, me too, man. Me too. We ended last week. It was so great. And then we had a lot of opportunities where it's just like one and done, where you had one trade, your strategy worked out, and you got the continuation. So once you do that, there was no need, at least for me, to put on more risk, right? Compared to 2 weeks ago when it was just we were working. We had to work to make something, come out on the winning side. It was not easy. So let's see. Some weeks are gonna be like the IWM. What do we have here? IWM. It's up a bit. Pretty much, I think, how everything else is, right? Let's take a look at the SPY. SPY right now up slightly, hitting 6,000. Very nice. Yeah, it was brutal, man. I think was it the week before or 2 weeks ago. Time is going so fast, but it was brutal, man. We were getting beat up. We were just getting beat up everywhere we looked. It was just we were getting badly slammed everywhere. But it happens. The market's not always going to give you what you want. You got the SPY puts ready. Nice. Very good. Very good. Very good. Big Rob. So Big Rob, you got banned, man, from another channel. You came to us. So you're saying we were like secondhand chop fest over here, Chop liver, man. What's going on? CRCL, please. Yes, I did CRCL. Again, this is the recent IPO here. I'm gonna put it on a second there. We could look at it. Usually these stocks are very difficult to trade, so be careful. But they are in play. It just doesn't. You guys know how I trade, right? This doesn't fit the way I trade normally. I'll put in a secondary here. We'll look at it, but it's typically not something I'm going to be probably looking at closely. But if you guys see something great, let me know on it. We can always look at it. You guys know what moves I'm looking for. A 5-minute ORB, VWAP breakout, if you see something like that. And shout out to you guys, because I think it was a couple of times last week, you guys called out some really good trades. And one of the big ones you guys called out, I believe, was on Tesla. Can't remember the ticker name. But yeah, you guys called out, hey, this is doing your move. And I looked it over. I'm like, oh, man, it is. And I took it long. And it turned out to be one of my best trades of the week. So Power being, here with us, and being able to communicate with each other, and so many different eyes on different things really helps. So watching NVIDIA for initial short on open. Oklo is also squeezing. Oklo is trying to do something here. I know a lot of traders like this one. ABR. I don't like the price action on Oklo. Something about it that I don't prefer. So I tend to just leave it alone, man, and go with the stuff that I do like. But I've seen many traders in our community or you guys on YouTube, take this and crush it. But I have not had a lot of success with this ticker. So Ryan, good morning. Good to see you, man. VRO, excuse me, Vero. Oh man, this is not my type of stuff. What's this? This is Venus Concepts. Yeah, careful with this stuff. How's the daily looks? What's the daily showing us here? Oh man, this is messy. This is messy. So just be mindful. I know it's low price here. Had a big day on Friday with volume. Maybe looking for a second day play, but this is not the stuff I trade, man. This is this to me tells me danger. Stay away from that. But again, it all comes down to your plan, right? What is your plan? If you have a strategy that works well with this, good, go for it, right? That's all it comes down to. Do you have a strategy that you have proven, and that strategy tells you this type of stock are your best candidates for that strategy? Great. Now, if you're just trading it, because I'm speaking like this because I used to do this when I first started, even before BBT. I used to look for stocks that were cheap, right? And I was just say, oh man, this can go up to $5 again, and then swing trade it, and that stuff didn't work. Or try to day trade, that stuff didn't work. So, and clearly I had no strategy whatsoever. So key thing is, if you have a strategy and you've proven that strategy works in the simulator, yeah, by all means, just go for it. Roblox, I do like Roblox. When Roblox is in play, I do like it. Let's see here. Roblox dropping a little bit here, down 1%. It needs more volume. Let's see if it can get the volume. But right now, I would love to see more volume out of Roblox. Right now, only 81,000 shares traded. Man, look at the run since April, though. Since April, this stock has been on a pure tear. Look at this. Wow. Very nice. Very nice. Just checking to make sure we didn't miss anything. Good. WBD. Oh yeah, this is the one with the news today. I still don't think this is going to trade well with the Discovery, ESPN, CNN, and TNT, right? So yeah, Melanie. Actually, Peter is going to trade with our boot camp. So he's trading live with the boot camp. What they do is we go on a Google meeting with them, and we trade with a couple of people, a very small group, and then they can ask their questions. And again, it's just really really nice to have that interaction with the mentees. So can get into more details of how we're trading, what we're doing, explain further. So yeah. So it's his turn today to actually be with those guys. So flying solo until about 10:30. Then Peter and Andrew will come on, and then Thor at 11 a.m. today. Thor will be joining us. How can you join bootcamp? Head over to bearwoodtraders.com, or actually head over to pcapitaltrading.com. Right, so right through there, pcapitaltrading.com, and you can get all the information and details. If you're running, I'm not sure if we're running any promos now, but if we are, our team there is going to get you a link. But I will head over there, and you get all the information. Again, it's intense. It's 13 weeks of a lot of work, right? So it's not impossible, but you can't be lazy, right? You can't come in and say, oh yeah, let's see what happens. No, you got to come in with a mindset that, okay, this is going to be work, there's going to be homework, there's going to be assignments, You got to prepare your mind for that. I always tell people, boot camp is what you make it, right? It's like a gym membership. You could buy the membership, make the financial commitment, but if you don't show up to the gym, you're not getting fit because you pay for a year in advance or you pay for a trainer. You got to show up. So same thing here. And if you do it, it's almost guaranteed that you're going to come out a better trader on the other side. All right, so there's no question. And everybody's different. There's people that join with very no experience whatsoever, right? And I'm always cautious of those people because if you have no experience, it's even more to take in because you're starting from scratch. And then we have people that join with a lot of experience, and at the end, they do very well. They do very well, So, but we recommend that you know the basics. So this way, when you start, a lot of the stuff that you're working on is a little more on the advanced side, right? So learn the basics first. You could do that by just hanging out here with us, going to P Capital. I'm sorry, bearwithtraders.com, tradingterminal.com. Go to all these websites, take in all the free material that's out there, and then within a month or two, you should be ready to go. Sign up and go crush it. So. Okay. All right, guys. A couple of minutes of the market open here. Let's go through my stocks. So I got IonQ. I like the volume on this one. I like the pre-market we're seeing right now. Very strong, up 10%. I got my levels up here, and this can go either way. I hope long, because that's where the momentum is right now. I hope it goes higher, but we'll have to see how that open sets up. QUBT looking to break out even further here, so this is nice too. Good volume right now. So between those two, we'll be watching those closely. I mean, they're both quantum stocks, so whichever one gets us a better opportunity, we'll take it. Nvidia daily also looking like it wants to continue here. So up 1%, good volume, and we'll see. This one will be important to wait that 3 minutes for those that that watch us here. You guys know that I wait 3 minutes for the after the market open before taking any trades, so we'll have to just be aware of that. AMD's pre-market is looking good. Peter did mention this, and I did not look at it, but AMD's got a nice pre-market as well. 1.3, 2.6 daily, also trying to break out. I'm gonna set some levels on here. So right now we're trying to slam against the level. We're trying to break out of the level from Friday, this one here. So that's the one you're seeing there in the pre-market that we're trying to hit. Above that, if we were to keep going, we're looking at 122.47. Want to go to the left, and what do we have here? Do we have anything in here? Yeah, we do. That's a level right here between December and January. Right over here, you got a couple of days opening, closing, and using that 120.74 as their area support. I'm going to just draw a line right on there. Oop, nope, right here. So 120.74. See a lot of touches right in this area, so I want to have that down as well. Yeah, it's good. All right, I like AMD. I'm going to add AMD on here as well. I got way too many tickers today. This is too much to watch. AMD. Too much to watch. CR. Yeah, I have that one on deck. Yeah, this stock is wild. This stock is wild. And we have 400,000 shares to short, so we do have some short there as well. Let's see where it goes. Oh yeah, I'm ready. I got my charts ready to go. Let's get the 5-minute. So here we go, 30 seconds to the market open, friends. Again, remember, be patient. We have a whole entire day to trade. You don't have to make your trade in the first couple of minutes when the bell goes off. We don't have to act like racehorses. Just take your time, get your setup, and just execute. Execute well is the most important thing. All right, I see Andrew's ready to go in chat as well. He's all set. Brian is all set. And here we go. Ding, 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 ding. All right, see what we got. All right, let's look at IonQ dropping a little bit. QUBT also taking a bit of a drop here. Nvidia Pushing high. Nvidia looks good today. Nvidia wants to be strong. Getting above the pre-market high. Let's see. I like Nvidia. I like the way this one's starting out today. Looking very nice. How many likes? We have 200 and oh yeah, we're very low on the likes. Ooh, 227. It's Monday. People are waking up. It's okay. I won't bother you guys with that. I'll let you guys hang out with the likes today. It's Monday. People are getting their fingers warmed up. All right, here's Nvidia. Nvidia, wow, look at that beautiful push through above 143, 144. It's trying to get to it. There it is. Oh, just missed it. The ask though, we got a lot of ask on at 144. Yeah, look at that. It's that nice jump. It's just a lot of ask sitting up there. Usually pulls the price, and that's what we saw there. Tesla going the other way. Tesla and Nvidia are the two that I'm gonna be. Wow, look at that drop. I'm gonna be focusing on. So QBT, yeah, QBT is good too. Beautiful 1 minute engulfing. That is a great engulfing breakout there if you're looking for that. So OTR loosening, acting a little bit messy here. Again, I'll be waiting for my 3 minutes. I don't trade 3 minutes after the market open. My data shows I lose during that time more often than I win. Way more often than I win. So just don't trade it. Right after a couple of years, you got to start listening to the data and what you're good at. QUBT went up, went down, went up, and now back down again. Very active as well. How about POTR? POTR is losing it. POTR could be a good 5-minute ORB breakdown if we can get a pullback. That is looking. You got to get the pullback though. I like POTR for a 5-minute ORB breakdown, but we need the pullback. Give us a pullback. Wow. All right, we'll leave that alone for now. We'll come back to it because it looks like it's just pulling away from us. Nvidia is just going. It's gone. Beautiful play here, Nvidia. SPY is in the red. So SPY came back, dropped in the red here. But Nvidia does not care. Nvidia is gonna try to do his own thing here. Beautiful start so far. QUBT dropping, IonQ dropping, PLTR. Here's a 3-minute mark, so I'll be looking for any VWAP breakouts or any indication of a 5-minute ORB. I want PLTR to pull back. I think this is the best setup for a 5-minute ORB. So if we can pull back anywhere here, close this 5-minute candle, I get the good risk to reward of the VWAP. I would love to go short. This looks very weak right now, but we need a good entry. We can't just go chasing this thing. So needs to pull back here, and if it does, once it pulls back, once I see the strength, then I'll be going short. What are you guys into in anything yet? Tesla is weak. Yeah, Tesla looks weak as well. A similar setup to what POTR is doing on Tesla. So here's the bit of the pullback. I think this is the best we're gonna get. Oh, no. Come on. Just a little bit higher, please. I think this is the best we're gonna get on POTR. POTR is not going to give us any more. Come on. Pull back a little bit. I want 125 at 80, 126 at least. We're not gonna get it, I don't think. Maybe. Wow, we're not gonna get the pullback. 5-minute coming up here, friends. POTR is not gonna give it to us. And it's gonna go too. I think it's gonna drop. I think it's going to drop. But this risk reward for me is just not worth it. It really is not. Ah, that's a shame. Maybe now. Maybe now we get the pullback. All right, we'll see. I don't want to force it. Tesla pulling back to the VWAP, could not stay on the VWAP. This could be a good short for Tesla on the 5-minute RB. Better risk to reward. It's a little bit messy. This could be a good short. Yeah, PLTR is gonna go, friends. Did you guys join PLTR? Did you guys take it? I think it's gonna be a short. Nvidia's pulling back. Yep. Nvidia's pulling back a little bit here. QUBT. It's all right. If we don't get a 5-minute RB, we'll look for a VWAP breakout some sort. But I really like this PLTR. Okay, here maybe now we get a good pullback. And the longer we stay here, like for example, the longer we stay here, the VWAP starts coming down, so your risk to reward does get a little bit better over time. But then when it tends to do that, the likelihood of it going back up and becoming a long is right. It's a little higher because now you're not getting the break of the low of the day. But let's see. PLTR had a great run on Friday, so it makes sense to be down today. Yeah, it was really nice on Friday. So there could be some profit taken today. It's just the overall market, right? If the overall market is weaker, this thing tends to just follow that. Okay, now we're getting a nice. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. All right, so far Nvidia pulled back, beautiful bounce here. 5-minute RB break on Nvidia. This is a great risk to reward here. Beautiful pullback. We need this to hold and be strong. PLTR. I like PLTR the best. How does the daily look? Oh man, I'm struggling with this PLTR. Like I don't want to chase it, but I do want a good entry. I don't want to force it. Let's see what it does here. But everything I'm watching, I feel like this is my best opportunity that I have right now is this one. So we'll see. We can go maybe down to 123, 123.70, 72. That could be nice. Here's Tesla kind of hanging on. Nvidia lost it. Oh man, glad it didn't take that long. Nvidia losing it here. QUBT bouncing off the VWAP. I'm telling you, PLTR is the one. Of everything I have, PLTR is the one that's telling me to go short now. All right, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna go short now. Was really hoping for a much better entry. Let's see if we could get the breakdown. 123.72 would be awesome on this thing, but I'm not as comfortable as I would have liked to be with this entry here. Because your stop has to be anywhere close to VWAP. You know, I would have liked my stop to be above VWAP to kind of use the VWAP as support. But you know it's gonna pull back. It's just, is it gonna be able to stay below VWAP now is the thing. So let's see what happens. So short PLTR. We'll see if we can get a play here. Out of all the ones I have, this is probably the best ticker on my list. So we'll see what PLTR does. Took short Nvidia, got nearly 300. Not too bad. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Short IBIT. That's crypto, right? Crypto mining. IonQ. Yeah, the SPY is trying to base here. I mean, we'll see, man. I like this breakdown on PLTR. I don't like my entry. I'll tell you that much, but it's the best thing I had, I think. If this candle on the 5 closes on as a high, it might not be great. I might need to bail on this thing. Above 125, 126, 125.90. See, because now the problem is when you're not close to the VWAP, I want this stuff to be the areas where the sellers come in, right? That's where sellers usually come in and try to bring it down. But if you don't have a stop that's slightly above that, you could be in bad shape. So we'll see. We're short. Might just stop out here. If I don't see these the sellers kind of hopping in, we might need to get out of this trade. Engulfing 5 minute on Tesla, bullish or bearish? I don't have it up right now. Yeah, PLTR looks strong now. It doesn't look like it wants to sell off. If this candle doesn't sell off here, I got to jump out. Yeah, I got to jump out because this is going to probably be a good long. We need to sell off. Got to stay below the VWAP. Come on. Don't cross the VWAP. We're watching it here. Yeah, I gotta get out of PLTR. Yeah, I gotta get out because it's gonna cross the VWAP here. So we're out of it. We'll come back to see if we see some weakness here. Tesla engulfing, you mentioned it did, and a VWAP breakout too. But I wasn't watching that one. Nvidia is messy. What's Nvidia doing? Up, down. It is engulfing on the 5 minute as a possible short, but man, it is messy right now. Let's see what it's trying to do. UBT above the VWAP. We'll see if we get our VWAP breakout on this one. This could be interesting on QUBT. IonQ, not the VWAP yet. And POTR. POTR actually. Let's see if we can get our setup. If we can get our setup, this can also be a nice VWAP breakout if it's going to be strong. But we got to get our VWAP breakout here. AMD. AMD did our move. I just don't know if it's going to continue here though. So yeah, had a nice breakdown, had to pull back, and then here's the confirmation candle. Let's see if that's going to continue there. All right, let's see here. AMD also engulfing on the 5 as well. Wow, look at Tesla go. Tesla's doing nice. Is Andrew long Tesla? I'm not sure if Andrew's long. I don't think he is. That's usually that's his play right there. That's his play right here. All right, PLTR coming back down. Okay, so here we are. So forgetting about our last trade, right? Focus on whatever's happening now. This is the breakout. This is the pullback. And then if it can hold this and then show strength, that's usually where we go long, right? That's our play. So we need it to hold here. We need to go back up. And if it can do that, that's usually my VWAP breakout that I look for on a strong stock. So regardless of what happened here, you know, we focus on a new setup here. If it's going to give us that, we'll take it. Again, no revenge trading. You don't never get your money back. Where you lose, you lose. It's simple as that. Doesn't matter. We move on to the next opportunity. POTR, not really holding the VWAP here. Yes, that's looking more than you would like, but let's see what this candle does. This will be the confirmation candle if it does want to go higher. Okay, yeah, it's doing our setup. I just don't like how deep this pullback went below the VWAP. So I'm gonna wait for more. I want this here. I want to wait for a little more confirmation. Did not like how far back that pullback went. We need to at least just like get here, get a new high. Make sure that's what we want to do. 5 minute looking bearish. Nah, not above the VWAP. This, you know, the 5 minute does look bearish in the first candle, but before that, I mean, you're having a beautiful comeback here, and we've seen this many times. With those first couple of minutes, the market does something. Here's the new candle. I'm gonna go long. Let's see if we could break above here. So stop loss 125.40. We don't want to go into this support area. So let's see if we can hold here. So yeah, I agree. If you look at the 5 minute, right? If you look at the 5 minute here, yeah, this looks. You look at this candle, yeah, it looks bearish, but we see that all the time, man. We see that all the time. Why did I short PLTR? I was looking for 5 minute RB breakdown, man, and I hear you. It is not a good setup. Like you look at it here. Usually I wait for the pullback, and my entry would be somewhere around here. And I kind of said, like, I'm chasing this thing. I'm not gonna get a good risk to reward on this. I should have not taken that trade. But I thought I saw the stock weak at that time, right? I thought it was very weak. But yeah, it's just we didn't get the breakdown. I at least expected to at least have one push down, and it didn't even give me that. Like at least something, to take a partial in. And I would expect it to get stopped out of break even just because my entry was so bad. But it didn't even give us that, man. It was too bad of an entry. And your entry is everything. Like if you don't have a good entry, you really can survive things. Here's the reason why. Like let's say for example this does come weak, right? Because it come back down to low of the day. Like this thing can go both ways now. If I had an entry, if I remember we're waiting for that pullback. If I had an entry somewhere around here, I wanted 125, close to 126. You could potentially survive all of this stuff here, right? Let's say we're still in short. You could potentially survive with this. Your stop is 126.40. And then if it sells off, which it still can here because it's not breaking out the way I like, you're still in the trade. So your entry is everything. Yes, I am long POTR now. We got long on this candle here. Let's see if this one's gonna break out. So I am long POTR, looking for the high of the day at least. And then you got the previous day close up there. But yeah, entry is everything, guys. This entry, not a good entry. Not a good entry. Then here we would have been stopped out, but at least you could have a chance to survive a lot more. And also, guess what? If you enter over here, and we're talking about my first short, if we enter over here, then you can, by the time it gets low of the day, which we usually do this and go to the low of the day, that's a partial, right? So yeah, I did not trade that well. That will go on the journal as it was kind of an impulsive trade, I would say. So we'll mark that as an impulsive setup there. All right, so we're long. So this is the first trade here, in and out. And now we're long based off our VWAP break. Here's the breakthrough. Here's the pullback. Here's the confirmation candle. We waited a little more because it was a little suspect based on how much this pulled back. We're in here. We're hoping to get at least high of the day at 127.37. Let's see if that's in the cards for it. But the stock is on the 1 minute is taking its time, taking its sweet time. All right, what are you guys in today? AMD. AMD, let's take a look what AMD is up to. AMD wrapping itself around the VWAP. Didn't really sell down. ASTS has been active the last couple of, oh man, this stock is, look at this. Very nice. Andrew's long TSLL. So I see that there. Andrew's long TSLL. He's long. He's taking a partial already on that one. So very nice. I'm long POTR looking for the break, but it's really struggling here. POTR is having a hard time to get going. SPY back and forth between green and red, so just kind of wrapping itself around the previous day close. Okay, so yeah, there we go. So Andrew's long Tesla, Paris, both long Tesla, so they got the same trade there. Beautiful, guys. Here's Andrew's trade. Let me show you. And for those that are new, we'd love to you guys to subscribe, be part of the channel, man. We'd love to have you come back. I know some new people that joined us today, so thank you for that. And also hit that thumbs up. It helps us out a ton. We really appreciate you guys when you guys do that. Let me take Peter off of here so he's not, poor Peter's not frozen there. Give Peter a little bit of a rest there. Let's just make this. All right, POTR is working, friends. Very, very nice. POTR is on the move. I'm looking for a partial at the high of the pre-market on POTR. I won one it. Let's see here. Okay, we're almost there. Almost got it. I'm PLTR. I'm gonna show you guys in a second. I'm just trying to fix some stuff here. Something is messed up. I can't take Peter off the screen. We'll have to have Peter there. Peter, by the way, went to trade with our P Capital team. So every now and then we do have a P Capital team that we trade on. So he is there today. All right, I can't get Peter off the screen. We'll leave him there. Leave him frozen. All right, here it is. PLTR. Thanks, Andrew. Thank you, sir. So PLTR, we're going to take a partial 127. We'll take a partial here just in case we do decide to drop lower. Let's see if we can get a previous day close will be nice. Spies trying to stay green. I do not use Bookmap. We have a couple of people that use Bookmap. Here is our buddy. Where's this screen set up? Brian. Brian uses Bookmap. He's actually sharing it in the screen right in the chat right now. So Brian uses Bookmap. He's looking at NVIDIA. People like it. People like the way it looks. You know, they get the information. I just look at level 2. I'm not a big, heavy level 2 trader. I use it. This is a great video, by the way, on YouTube. I'll send it to you now. It's a video that we did years ago. I did the presentation. I'm sorry, I did the recording. Andrew did the presentation, right? And it's to this day. That video is like 5 years old, I think. That's how I use the level 2. I mean, that's the way Andrew taught me how to use it. That's the way I still use it to this day. And it's just, it works perfectly. So, oh man, I look young in this video. How time goes. Here it is. Here's a link. Just save that there. Don't go to it now. Hang out with me here. Don't go nowhere. But that link is a presentation that Andrew put together, and that's how I use the level 2. So Bookmap does the same thing, just more visual. The one thing I see a benefit on Bookmap is that it has the history, right? Like it shows you the histogram of, I don't know if that's the word, of where you had buyers and sellers before, right? Like it'll show you that. That's the one benefit that you have over the level 2, like this one here, the kind of the more traditional one that I use, right? All right, we'll look for a breakout here. Let's get to high of the pre-market high of the day 127.37. Looks like we want to do it. We need to make a new high here though. We can't be having these red candles without making a new high. I'm gonna take another partial here just to play defense in case we're not gonna break out. You know, I don't want to go back to break even with all these shares. No. Let's take some money off the table. And then we can see if the breakout is happening or not. While this is taking place, let's take a look at if we have anything else setting up that we can join here. NVIDIA's looking good. Andrew's long NVIDIA. NVIDIA's looking good. Let's see what Andrew's doing here. He's looking at AMD. AMD also has the same setup as NVIDIA, so there could be something happening there. All right. Options work great for PLTR. They do. Sweet, man. Yeah, I could see, because this stock gets a lot of volume, right? It gets a lot of movement, so I could imagine options work well with this thing. I traded options before in the past. I'm not a big options trader, but I do like the different ways you can trade with options, right? So different setups and themes that you can do, right? So that's pretty cool. All right, we're breaking down my stop. So here's where mental stops come in handy, right? So here's my break-even point. Right now, if we hit that, am I gonna get out immediately? Absolutely not. Sometimes you see the wick come down, hit it, and then buyers step in. I'm gonna wait. If that thing closes red, or I'll give it even a little room, like I'll give it down to the VWAP. I don't want to get stopped out just for a couple of cents. I'll give it down to the VWAP, and I'm making that decision as I'm watching it, right? So with a limit order, you'll get stopped out immediately. Now, I'm not saying you should have mental order opposed to a limit order, right? I'm not saying that. I'm sorry, hard stop against a mental stop, but that's one of the benefits of having a mental stop where I know here's where I want to get out, but I am watching the price action and I do have to hit the button, right? But I always tell people, if you're not hitting the button, if you're like waiting, the stack is over here and you're still deciding whether you need to get out or not, then you need to go to hard stops. That's not gonna work. All right, we are struggling. I'm inclined to take even another partial if we don't get going here, because this 127 is becoming such a pain. Okay, I like that candle. That's good. I like that candle there. We just need the extra push. I don't see anything heavy on the level 2 though. I don't see a lot of big orders up here inclining a breakout. So level 2 is not giving us no information. And sometimes that happens, like level 2 won't give you enough data to make a decision. Okay, here we go. Very nice. All right, we're parceling above that high right there, high of the pre-market. Keep saying high of the pre-market, high of the day. All right, let's see if we can go green. So that is very nice, friends. I'm going to take another partial here. Should we be patient? Let's be patient. Let's be patient. Peter will be telling right now, be patient. Wait. Let's see. Let's see if we can hold this. We had such a hard time getting above 127 that if we go back under it, I don't think we're coming back up to 127, not in the near future. So I'm sorry, I gotta take a partial, Peter. Sorry, Peter. We'll take a partial. We're not gonna take money back. So we'll take another partial. Here we are. We gotta close above 127. We close below 127. I might just take everything out, and then we can always join back in. We can always jump back in if the setup happens. But we're not taking all these shares back to break even. With this move, we cover our loss. So we're 50% as far as win rate for today. Let's see if we can get a little extra. Juan, it is. Yeah, I'm not convinced. Especially if this candle closes on the downside of things. I don't blame you for getting all on a PLTR at all. Don't blame me. It's struggling. It's really struggling here. It might, but it's really struggling. So that's why I've taken so many partials so far on this thing, and I might even take another one if it don't show a sign of progress. All right, here we go. Andrew is added to Tesla. Andrew added to Tesla. So here's his ad on Tesla. As you can see there, so he added, and he's partialed. So that is turning out really, really nice for Andrew there, his Tesla trade. So awesome. I think some of my keys change here. What do we got? All right. I want to change some things around here. All right, so still MPOTR looking long. NVIDIA, NBIS looking good. SMCI. Let me see what POTR is going to do. I might take everything off here. POTR. And it comes down. It's just like it wants to go back up, but it's not trading well. POTR usually trades much better than this. I'm glad we got a good trade out of it so far. All right, let's see if the buyers swing it up. They are struggling here. Yeah, I'm gonna get out. I just don't like the way it's trading. We'll get out of that. We cover our loss and made a little extra, so that's nice. But I don't like the way it's trading. All right, I was gonna look at yeah, this market today has not been Andrew is long Tesla. Tesla looks like it wants to break here. Andrew's already long in here, taking a couple of partials added. He added in this downturn right here. Partial here again, but he's got a couple of entries already. And it's going to go. It looks like it wants to break this 293. It breaks that, it will definitely hit 294, but it's got to break that. Spies trying to get caught in chop. NVIDIA at VWAP. Yeah, I see that. But it's so messy, man. Like NVIDIA right now can go anywhere. So I see what you're looking at, right? The possible breakout. I don't know if I trust it, man. This might actually looks more long to me than short, to be honest, just because how much support you have here. So you got to be careful with this one, the way it's been trading the last couple of minutes. NVIDIA short. Oh, I don't know. And again, one of the things about community, whether you're here with us or in the chat room, you gotta have a plan, right? I might say I don't know. You might be convinced because you have your plan. That's okay. You know, follow your plan. What I would hate for people to do is like, oh, Carlos say he doesn't know. I'm gonna stop out of my position, right? Don't do that. Follow your plan. That gets you into trouble. Then you get out, and then guess what happens? Then it works out. So he was right. You know, so following your plan is good. And can you follow your plan when somebody else is doing something else? When you believe so strong in your plan, that's okay. And even if you're wrong, just because, you know, maybe I was feeling it was one way, doesn't mean your plan is wrong, right? It's just probabilities. That time it just didn't work. But don't go there, change your entire setup just because somebody says something, right? You got to have that strong mindset like that, especially when you trade in a community like this, right? And it makes you a better trader for sure, for sure. So very important. You can see Andrew trading live in our community. So head over to bearwoodtraders.com and you can see him live. There's a link here in chat. We'll send another one out if team can send another link on how to join. Yeah, here's Andrew. Let me show you guys. Here's our website, our chat room. Let me take everything out the way so you see it nice and clean. So here's what you get, right? You join Andrew, you get Andrew to see him trading live. You can see Brian's book map. He shares here. You can flip between screens. You can chat with the members right here. Here's the members. Here's the watch list you can see every day from all the moderators. So let me get this out the way. So there's a bunch of stuff that you can get, man, in our community. So head over there. The link should be right in chat. Right there it is. Limited time offer. And chat room for $19. I mean, you can't beat that, guys. That's 2 Starbucks cups. Come on. Two ventis. It's 2 ventis at Starbucks. It gets you in for a whole week. That's awesome. Take advantage of that. All right, let's see. I see Andrew is in Tesla under TSLL. And I think this thing is gonna break, man. I think this thing is gonna break. Oh, he took another partial up here as well. So for those that don't know, if you're new, TSLL is derivative of, not derivative, no, it's an ETF that follows Tesla. Leverage, 2 times leverage, I think it is. So you can trade this. So he looks at Tesla to see the price action, but he trades it here because you can get a better management as far as number of shares and stuff like that, right? And also it moves more. So more volatility, you definitely got to be careful. Cause I hope you're getting commission for that. I'm away. I'll wait to purchase the chat. No, man, no, I don't get commissions for that, man. This is us giving back, and we enjoy this, man. We really do. We enjoy doing this. Like, you have to, you know. If you don't enjoy this, it's hard to do it every single day. Like when the days I'm off on vacation, I'm like, oh man, I log into the show to see what's happening, right? So we really enjoy doing this. There's a passion for it. So I'm not worried about no commissions for you joining. Join, and come say hello. Join the onboarding class tonight at 8 p.m. Come say hi to me. We'll hang, man. We'll hang. We'll have some conversations. We'll answer some questions. So that's the most important part, you know. So all right. Well, I miss you guys too, man. When you guys take off, you know. All right, let's see. Andrew, another partial in TSL. I knew it. This thing is gonna break out. Another partial there for Andrew, as that takes off there. All right, let's take a look. So right now, POTR. might actually be heading higher, but I don't trust it. There's not a setup for me now that I'm out of it. Tesla's good. Let's bring back our tickers here. And Nvidia wrapping stuff around the VWAP. Very, very choppy right now, so be careful, friends, on that one. Let's take a look at UBT. Nothing there. INQ. Nothing. Burger. Let's go through our secondary list. AMD. AMD looks like it wants to be strong here. Archer Aviation, no good. CoreWeave. What is this risky stock up to? Should we take a scalp on CoreWeave? What do you guys think? Scalp on CoreWeave? On CoreWeave up to 155? I will only take 100 shares in this thing though. Just for fun. I'm not getting my profits back. Maybe 200 if it works out here. I don't know. We missed the end. 155 would have been great. You'd have been up $1 plus already on this thing, but it can go. This thing can be right, James. James is like, no, don't touch that. Yeah, let's not touch this. But if you do, like, if you want to touch it, you can do 100 shares. You don't gotta go crazy. Do something small. Don't risk a lot. But we would have been right, James. Look at that. We would have been almost $2 in already on this thing. 5 minute looks good. Yeah. Now I won't chase it. No, we missed the entry. As soon as you buy, it drops. Yeah, that's what it feels like sometimes. That's what it feels like. As soon as you buy one of these low flow stocks, it drops. I agree. Feels that way. And usually it's like that because sometimes when you get in on these riskier stocks, you're waiting for too much confirmation, right? And that too much confirmation is usually when things start to turn around. So you got to jump in, get the scalping, and get out. Friends, we're sitting at 341 likes with 1,037 people watching, man. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'd love to get that to at least half. I hate asking for these things, but it does help. It reminds people to hit that like button. So if you can get us to 500, that'll be awesome. And yeah, man, really appreciate you guys hanging out. But let's hit those thumbs up and get to 500. 50%. You'd be surprised. 50% of likes from 1,000 people watching is really good. Like, people don't like videos, so you go to these big channels, these especially gamers. Look at CoreWeave Go, friends. We messed up. I messed up. I should have went long on this thing for a scalp. That would have been beautiful. And it's gonna get 155. Painful. Well, not really, because that's not my strategy. It's not painful at all, but would have been nice. Yeah, so you have these channels that have, like, 40,000 viewers online live, like this guy. No, I don't hate you, man. I don't hate you at all. What's his name? Doctor. Oh my God, James. I might hate you just a little bit now. Then, yeah, I might hate you just a little bit because look at this thing at 156. Not just for today. Tomorrow I love you again, but today I hate you just a little bit. Oh my goodness. Oh. Oh, that is so nice. That is so nice. Anybody take that? Ah, that is so nice. And we said it too. We just want to scalp. Like, we're not even expecting it to go that far up. And look at that. That is beautiful. So yeah, what's it, Dr. Evil? Not Dr. Evil. What's his name? Dr. Disrespect. I think I mentioned this before here. He'll have like 40,000 people watching, and I like him. He's such a character, man. He puts on a show. Like, he puts time into his shows. Like, he's really about quality and providing that showmanship. And he's funny. And it'd be 40,000 people, and he only has, like, 15,000 likes. It's really low. It might be even lower. So when you could get 50% of your viewers to like, you're doing well. You're doing very, very good. I'd be happy. That's more than enough. CoreWeave is gonna have one of those days. Anyone long CoreWeave? Not because we mentioned, but even for before. Like, did you take this early on as a view at breakout? Who's long this thing? Long IWM, good. Nvidia, short squeeze on the skews. Medi UAS, very nice. That's good. That's good. POTR. POTR is Still messy, even with this maybe breakout that we might be getting here. I don't see it yet. Tesla might be going back. Tesla wants to go green. It's just, and I think Andrew added. Andrew added on Tesla, rightfully so. Man, this thing is gonna go green. So Tesla add on there. And I'm trying to understand why some of these things are not looking good. There it is. Andrew's ad on TSLL. And I'm sure Andrew mentioned also Paris. Paris is long. Tesla as well. So both of them doing some Tesla stuff there. Very good. All right, I want to find another trade. Let's see what we can find here. Want to find another trade. Nvidia. Yeah. Hard to trust it after it's been stuck here in such a range, but eventually it's gonna break out. The good thing about this area here is a good risk to reward no matter which way you take it, right? Like if it becomes short, you're right next to the VWAP. If it becomes long, you're right next to the VWAP. I love trading near the VWAP. VWAP is my friend, guys. I mean, it creates such a good risk to reward for me on my trades. So I just love being around this area when you can. IonQ, nothing. Tesla, trying to go green. I think it's gonna go green. That's where my money's at. POTR, it's becoming just pure garbage right now. It's just really sideways. I'm so glad we took very aggressive partials here, right? Because look at this. This is messy. AMD, CoreWeave 158.58. Oh man, I gotta trade those gut feelings. What do we see at WWDC? What it stands for? Worldwide Digital Convention. I just made that up. Something I know Apple's doing their thing at WWDC. And how is Apple doing, by the way? They're doing well. Doing good today. They're doing very good. Yes. I will forget your name by tomorrow. We're gonna be like, what is it? Turtles? Turtles, right? We forget quickly. All the bad stuff start fresh. Look at the ask on level 2 on Nvidia. It was stacked up. Yeah, there it is. It was just stacked up for the breakout. Spies breaking out as well. Elephants too do that. Yes, they forget. POTR not doing a whole lot right now. Trying to see where I could find an opportunity, but I'm not seeing anything, friends, that I would trade. CoreWeave going to 159. AMD's trying to do something. Nvidia broke out nice, guys. If you took it long, that was great. Great. Andrew was long Nvidia. So took a couple of partials. So Andrew was long Nvidia too. Nice. Yeah, Ali. I hesitated, man. Not hesitated. I wasn't really liking it as much. But yeah, man, I'm glad you're in it. So glad you're in it. And Andrew's in it as well. He took 2 partials already, and he's in it right at VWAP, right? So. Yeah. Glad you guys in it, man. I can't get all of them. You can't get all of them, right? But this is looking good, and it looks like it's going to break out. Looks like it's going to break out. How about Tesla? Tesla getting green yet? It's right there, right there. Andrew's in Tesla too. So TSLL, so right there, it's gonna go green. Let's look at this. Let's look at Andrew's screen so we can see it. Him get filled. Let's see. Let's look at Andrew's screen. All right, so let's see the breakout. 295. I'm still looking, friends. Still looking for something else. But again, we got a small profitable day. 1 loss, 1 green. Not bad. To start the week, Nvidia. looks like it wants to go here towards the high. Let's see. See if we can get going. BOTR not doing anything. Rush Star, you have to join the room. Yeah, listen, you got to join the room. You have to. I mean, it's. Let's go over here. Let me show you. It's very easy. You come in here. You look at this. This is the 1 week access, right? It gives you onboarding class with me tonight. If you join today, you could hang out with me tonight. So let's do that. The courses, and here, this is where the value is, man. Access to the chat. We get to see Andrew live, and we're giving you guys a discount for 19. So we're even cutting down some more of this, right? The link in the chat room gets you in here for 19. So check it out. And again, we're in there all day trading, and it's a lot of fun. And if you're an experienced trader, like I get the question asked, well, I'm a profitable experienced trader, why do I need to join a community? It's more to it than that, man. It's being around a group of people that you can share ideas with. You can really have companionship. Like, I know you might say, oh, that sounds dumb, Carlos, but it is. After a while, you want companionship with this thing. You want to trade with other people. You don't want to be doing this alone. It gets pretty boring pretty fast. And the video is going to go, friends. Ask is showing up pretty good here. Look at the ask there. So let's see if NVIDIA can break out here. It wants to go. It's been consolidating for so long that I think it's ready to get going here. Let's see. Come on, NVIDIA. You could do it. Tesla's inching higher and higher. My prediction, when it hits that previous day close, you're gonna get a nice pop. I believe on Tesla. Do you guys see any VWAP breakout setups? If you do, call them out. I would love to see any, but I don't have any on my watch list. But if you guys see any, let me know. Last week, a couple of times you guys called out some good ones. I was not watching that we actually did very good on. So if you see something, call it out. See something, say something. AMD high of day. Yeah, AMD's moving pretty well here. On vacay with traveling station in Western Canada, got up early, got $9 move on CoreWeave. Oh, you mean the $9 move that I would have had too? Yeah. Good job, man. Good job. Making money while traveling there's definitely a nice high to it. It's a whole different type of high when you make money traveling. It's a whole different type of high. It feels really, really good. Now, when you lose money traveling, it can mess up your whole entire vacation. But when you make it, it's really, really nice. So enjoy it, man. Enjoy it. But then be done and just go enjoy your time wherever you're at, man. That's awesome. Oh, James, we love you. We love you, man. It's okay. SMCI. Wow, man. SMCI. Well, I guess right. NVIDIA's moving higher. AMD, SMCI, also getting a little spike here on volume, moving up. All right, Medi SAICHR at VWAP. Yeah, this is a tough one though. This is a tough one because we're not coming up to it as clean as I would like. Here we did. Here was, see, breakthrough, pullback, and then a very slow confirmation situation there. Yeah, this one has. See, so for me, the VWAP breakouts like this are a little bit tough. When you come down and then you pull back and then it's doing the move here. I get it. But we're not leading up to it. So to me, this is a little bit harder to be convinced that we are going to continue, right? This could just be a pullback to VWAP and a retest to head lower. So that one's a little bit tougher. I saw a couple of these today. and I didn't take them because to me this is a little bit different, right? So it can still happen, but it's not really part of my trade book. Someone mentioned hood. Okay, yeah. This is it. Hood coming up to the VWAP. Pull back. Here's the confirmation candle. All right, I like this one. I like this one. Let's see. Can we get good volume? How's the SPY doing? SPY is going higher. This can actually be good. Wish volume was a little bit more active. Need that explosiveness out of hood. I see how this candle closed in yeah, thanks, Andrew. Yeah, we had a beautiful trade on PLTR, man. A beautiful trade. So thanks, man. PLTR is still rocking here. It's beautiful stuff. And Andrew too. Andrew's crushing a lot of these trades, man. Nvidia and Tesla. Tesla's just inching higher. It's gonna get it, guys. Who thinks Tesla's gonna go green in chat? Who thinks Tesla's going green? Or you think the previous day close is gonna be so strong that it's gonna bounce off of that? What's your thoughts? Hood. Yeah, see hood. Good call out, guys. Good call out. But it's just it didn't have that oomph, you know. It didn't have that that volume. Seems a little bit weird, which is okay. So Tesla green, yeah. Rejecting. Juan says rejecting. Definitely green. Wait, Juan, you're going both ways. So what are we doing here? You said green and then rejecting too. What's happening? Tesla green, yeah. Tesla green. I think Tesla green. Juan says Tesla long. Yeah. How about arcade? Okay, I'll take a look at those. Already long TSLL. Nice, Usam. Nice. Usam. Oh, there it is. We're watching it right now. Let's go to Andrew's screen. Hold on. Let's go to Andrew's screen. Here it is. Let's see what Andrew's gonna partial here. Let's see. There we go. Boom. There's the partial. Nice. Beautiful thing. So there's the partial on Andrew. He added a couple of times on this. This is gonna be a great day for him because he added a couple of times, taking many partials. So yeah, that is awesome. Awesome stuff. It looks like it wants to go more. 296 the next level. I have 296, 92 is the next level I have here. So let's see if we can get that. What is that, by the way? That level is, I'll tell you right now. It's a daily level. Looks like from is it? Yeah, it's a daily level. Oh no, pre-market high. That's pre-market high around that area. 296. 20. I didn't. Oh, so we were green in the pre-market. That's right. We were green in the pre-market. We gave a lot back, and we're trying to get back there. All right, let's see what happens. I think we might be headed to 300 on Tesla. Yeah, if it can regain this VWAP and stick to it, we might see some 300. I don't know if today though, man. Going green after gapping down like this and then pushing higher could be a little tough. Believe AMD set up a 9. Yeah, maybe. But I think a 953. Yeah, I think we're still messing around with PLTR, right? At that time. 953. Yeah, this is it right here. Yep. See, we got the momentum going, and this breakout fails, right? So breakout, pullback, and then this fails. So that confirmation, all the candles are important, but that confirmation candle is key. It needs to be green and on the breakout. Here you get it. Breakthrough candle, the pullback, and then here's the confirmation candle, that breakout. So that's important. So there it is, and a beautiful breakout on AMD. So very nice. That definitely is the move here at a 953. So after a fake out, you get the retest again, and it goes. APLD was on our watch list. What did it end up doing? A above the VWAP here. This one has decent volume. Two great levels here, VWAP and previous day close. So you got two great levels we're breaking out of here. Price action is a little messy. Gotta be careful. Spread is good. Spread is good. You're short to SPY? Yeah, SPY is picking up here. SPY is picking up. Did Hood end up getting volume? We were watching it, but it didn't really do our move here. Oh, it ended up doing it after. Messy. Really messy, but it did end up going here. Not the cleanest. I mean, you got a lot happening here. But no, this is good. Wow, I thought it was really gonna fall apart after this. I didn't think it was gonna come back up. Yeah, I guess keep in mind with the VWAP breakout, right? You can have a couple of candles out of the breakout. You can have a couple. It doesn't have to be one candle. You can have a couple of candles out of the pullback, and then here you have basically one candle as the confirmation one, which is this one. And look at that go. That is really, really nice, actually. Really nice. Good job. Hopefully, you guys took that. Tesla downgraded. I mean, come on. Can you really downgrade Tesla? The technicals are so all over the place. It's just what's the? I don't think a downgrade is gonna have a lot of effect to it. And what's the downgrade to? Well, what is it, Samuel? What number? I would love to hear the price target for this, and by who also, because that's important too. Like who's actually doing the downgrade? Is it John Doe somewhere, or is it like Goldman Sachs or something? Like who's doing it? Or a big bank. Tesla is great as investors long term. TDS. There are some people there are some firms that do, they don't like Tesla. They don't like Elon Musk. They don't like Tesla. It's out there. It's out there. So, um, okay. What is this bear? I never heard of these guys. Okay, so it might be a Nancy. That would have more effect if Nancy Pelosi that downgrades Tesla. Mohammed, there's so much benefit you can get for it, man. It depends where you are in your trading career. If you're a new trader, obviously the education part is top notch. Like our education material, is truly amazing, man. And the quality is very high. The organization, how we organize things are. I mean, I'm gonna show you. I'll show you how well organized this thing is. And like everybody, it didn't start like this, but we worked towards making this as organized as possible, easy to follow. You're not gonna get lost, and you're not gonna have. Also, we strongly believe, like Andrew mentioned this last week. Some communities will have like, 900 hours plus of videos. Are you gonna have 900 hours free to do all of this? You're not gonna have that, right? In reality, you don't need that many hours to teach something. You really don't. You need just good quality videos, to the point, concise, and just move forward. And very straightforward. So if you're a brand new trader, you get all the intro courses here, right? Just kind of get you started. Then you get the essentials, right? We have all the DAS training videos, right? All of them. And here's what I love about this DAS videos. We use DAS so we can teach you how to use it. There's Megan. Very short videos, right? Very straight to the point. So let's say you forget how to do your time in sales. You can go right in there and just look at that, right? Just look at time in sales. Setting alerts, no problem. Come in and setting alerts, right? Some of this stuff, for example, I'll tell you, like how to do the hot buttons. I probably forgot how to do that because I haven't done it in so long. So now if I want to go back in here, I can easily just click here and just get what I need. That's important, especially if you're if you're an experienced trader. You don't need to go through a lot of the stuff. You can skip through some of this stuff, right? Yeah, and Andrew mentioned two very updated videos. We update our videos a lot, right? We archive the old ones very quickly, and we update new stuff, new examples. I mean, all this stuff. We're very, very on top of it. So yeah, so as far as education, you're gonna get so much as far as education, advanced stuff. And again, these things you have to be careful. They're advanced, right? So if you watch it one time, for example, how to read the tape, you got to watch this video a couple of times. You can't watch it once and think you're gonna get it, right? It might require one or two sittings, because now we start getting to that advanced session. And if you are an experienced trader, let's say you have a strategy that works already, you just want to improve, and this is where the psychology comes in, man. We have a great team of our psychologists here. So you could definitely take a look. Every time you click on these, you have tons of videos that you can look at, right? So a lot of stuff here. Look how well organized this is. Look at this. I mean, come on. You can't beat this, man. This is because I see what's out there and I'm like, oh, okay. And again, I'm biased, obviously, because I'm part of the team. But it is these guys done a really great job, right? So definitely take advantage. And then webinars here, you can find all the recordings that we've done in the past. We highly recommend you guys watch the stuff live. It's much better. But if you miss it, come watch the webinars. Everything that's recorded, you can watch it here. So, but yeah, if you have any questions, we got a link for you. Come join me tonight. Come join me tonight. We'll go through all of this stuff, and we'll let you know what some of the benefits are. But the benefits for depending on where you are in your career and your trading experience is different for everyone. So check it out. And some people, like I said, there's this well, how can I put it? It's underrated. This is very underrated. How much companionship? Because I'm at the companionship stage now, right? So I'm part of the community because I need companionship. I need people to talk to. I need to be able to your network of people. Some of you guys just need that. You know. Hey, how's it going?
I'm good, brother. How are you doing?
Good, man. Doing good. Let me get everything to the chat
Some
here.
very nice trading going on here.
Yeah, I saw you too, man. Doing some good stuff. Love it. Love it.
I saw that you actually yourself had some really nice trading on
PLTR.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Good Monday. Good Monday.
very
Let
good
me
Monday.
get you
So
guys
put it on the
here.
chat room, please, as well. Yeah, your,
Yep.
your chat room as well. Also, screen share on the chat room as well. That would be nice. I'm gonna stop my screen share.
All right. Hey, Brian.
Good morning. Yeah, it was a pretty decent morning.
Wow, I'm gonna get out more on NVDA. Oof. Wow, amazing
Uh,
trade, guys.
yeah, it's breaking out here. Nice.
Very nice, guys. All right, so here's the deal, guys. I had really good trading. I had a one loss short on Tesla at the open. So for those of you who see my screen, so Tesla, was gapping down 4%, dropped. I got to stop the out, and then shorted again. I got to stop the out. So this stock wasn't really short. As soon as it came above the VWAP, it would have been a sign that you do not want to stay short on this, because when the stock is moving over across a VWAP, that's the moment that you really don't want to mess around with, because it's gonna become very strong. And as you see in a 5 minute, it kind of showed an engulfing, and then 5 minute opening range break up all the way up to the previous day close green. So the previous day close is 2295.14, and as you see here, it went all the way up there. But I had a fairly big loss at the open on Tesla. And the reason that I switched to TSLL was to make way more money. TSLL is the 2 times leverage of Tesla, essentially moves exactly like Tesla, but on 2 times leverage. So you can trade like essentially these derivatives or leverage products is trading exactly like Tesla. Instead of call options, you can trade them directly ETF shares. A lot of brokers might actually give you for free trading ETFs. So I went long, actually went a fairly big size. I added a couple of times more in there. And as you see, from almost 1006 all the way up to 1055. So that's a very big one. And I still have fairly big sizes still holding. So that was a really nice profit for me. And I hope that Tesla come back up to the previous day close. NVDA was another trade that I did. So I went long on this pullback. I got to stop that and went back at 3 times. And now, as you see, NVIDIA is back to the high of the day. So I had 2 trades on it. So this was a loss. And then as you see here, this is a big profit that is still running up. And that's how, oh, there you go, boom, 147. NVIDIA on a daily chart is really breaking out. So I wouldn't be
Yeah,
surprised if we continue going up. So pretty good day
one
on all.
yeah, 148 and change is seems to be all-time high for Nvidia. We may be hitting there. Yeah, so overall it was a pretty good day for me as well. I took Tesla short right at the open. That was the stock that I thought had the most interest at the open, the most movement. It was was starting to sell off. I was kind of disappointed it actually sold off a little bit going into the open, but it kind of came up a little bit, and that gave me an opportunity to take a short position when it started to roll over and break to that new low. So got a really nice drop on it on that first 2 minute candle. So I could have stopped trading right there after that one good trade. But yeah, we've had a nice move on the Qs, and I got a nice. I traded 530 calls on the Qs for the move up to Friday's high. So why use TSLL when you could just trade Tesla on margin? um, well, TSLL just is a beta, as you know, probably know. It's a beta ETF, so it's going to move more on a percentage basis. So you probably get a better return trading TSLL. When I traded Tesla this morning at the open, I used options actually. Used the 285 puts. So if you really want to juice your trade, you can use options, but you have to again the higher return you expect, the more risk you're taking as well. So it's a double-edged sword. Yeah, I think you're right, Frank. It does look pretty strong on a daily basis. The only thing is, it's not a you know you've still got some upside, maybe 148, maybe, which is another $3, and you'd probably have to use a stop of around one previous day close, sort of 141. 140 is a moving average. So it's not a great risk to reward for a swing trade, although it definitely looks looks strong and it looks like it wants to push there.
NVIDIA 145, I hope that it gets. I'd like to get the NVIDIA 145. Any question, guys, from the chat room or YouTube? Um,
Interesting. Netflix is down a bit today.
Netflix is at all-time high,
Netflix
isn't
is
it?
just oh man, it's been so strong. Yeah, all
Um,
time high is from probably Thursday. It hit 1263, just a little under. Yeah, and Netflix definitely looking like it's had a nice little push there. So it's taken a bit of a pause here over the last couple, 'Couple. 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 ' And Nvidia looks like it's going to go 145 here. So close now. It's a big order at 145 too. There's 261,000 shares sitting there. No, 2.6. No, that's 2.6 million shares. That's what it's showing on Bookmap here. Here we go, 145. Going to push there. Tesla's back up to PDC and high of day. It's getting close. Yeah, they're supposed to be meeting. You know, these agreements they end up with, they're not they're I guess they'll hopefully move the market a bit. Here we go, 144.99.
I'm sorry.
Still some really big orders sitting there at 145.
What are you trading on NVDA?
No, I'm just watching because I know you're still in it, right?
I'm still long on it, yes, absolutely. What's this Tesla doing? Tesla is green, so I had a pretty good day on Tesla.
Tesla's
So
gone back green again. Went back to that high of day. Tesla looks like it's going to push higher. Tesla's got so we were mentioning in the other room, Tesla's got the June 12th, which is Thursday. I guess they're rolling out the robo taxis in Texas. Arabic. Can I have the Arabic version of your book?
um, my book, I don't think has been published in Arabic. No, I don't think I found any publisher to do that.
My my is your book in Chinese, Mandarin?
Yes, yes, it is.
Yeah, here's my book in Mandarin.
Nice. Yeah.
How to swing trade. I can't. Yeah.
Hey guys, I like to
So
be in touch with everybody through LinkedIn as well. I put my LinkedIn profile here. If you are interested to be in touch with LinkedIn, I love to be connected with guys in LinkedIn as well. Um, I
how to
post my
swing
LinkedIn
trade.
profile in there. Um, that would be really nice if I connect with everybody through LinkedIn. LinkedIn is, I think, is one of the social medias that I think I'd like to be more active on it. X is really going downhill with all the bots and everything that it has.
Just a lot more, sort of a lot more anger and nastiness on X too. Like LinkedIn's a little bit more tend to be a little more civilized. You
I
don't
mean,
really
so there's a
get
lot of
people.
bots also on X as well. There's like the bot situation
Yeah,
is really out of touch um, in X. Like if every tweet that I do, like 50 bots coming and commenting on that, you don't really know who are you dealing with. You don't know if it's real or not. It's just very, very bad.
hmm. It's funny. The Dow is actually red on the day, and it looks like the SPY's going to go red again. Here, it's back down. It's been kind of rolling over.
Yeah, so market is
Nvidia
running over
didn't
slowly. NVIDIA had a very nice rally up.
did it? It actually did print around 145, but it couldn't get through that massive order that was sitting there. Is it still there? Yeah, it's still there.
Very
Still has
nice.
still 2.6 million shares there at 145. Probably get a bounce on the SPY here.
Tesla did a very nice double top on Tesla did a very nice double top on um, previous day close. So we made really good money on this. NVIDIA was also amazing. Um, I had a very, very, very nice trading day. TLT bonds are selling off again, huh?
Yeah, not very much. TLT is only down zero point 0.3. What's the 2 and 10 year at?
The 10-year, you can see it in trading terminal. It's at 4.5 right
Yeah.
now.
Okay. So it's sitting at that 4.5 level. It's kind of a psychological level.
Yeah. Any question on YouTube, guys? We have about 10, 15 minutes. Yeah, thanks for, I really appreciate for connecting on LinkedIn. Thanks for sending the things. Thanks for liking our videos, guys. I appreciate that. I hope that you can get really good trading. Um, Carlos is doing amazing trading. He did on PLTR. Carlos, I was watching it. Carlos did some long here and here on PLTR. So did a really nice move on PLTR like that. That's amazing. Juan McKenzie is asking about Tesla daily chart. So Tesla, the situation on Tesla is a little bit, the technical analysis really doesn't work here because, Elon Musk is very powerful on Tesla and he's very open about getting into fight with everybody, including the president. So overall, after this China deal, it gapped up and it was going really very nicely until Elon Musk went ballistic on, Twitter, and it dropped like 20%. Now it's kind of there is some big technical damage has gone into the chart, so we don't really know what's going to happen. Really depends if this robotaxi launch would be successful, and of course, what happens with Elon Musk. I mean, something is telling me that Elon Musk is going to step down, either from a SpaceX or from Tesla. It wouldn't be
Hmm.
very actually far uh, because I know if someone wants to come down, is Elon Musk. I don't think president would uh, would change his mind. So Elon Musk has to step down. If he does step down, maybe starts rallying up, go back up, or if the president and Elon Musk is getting back into good relationship, then you might start rallying. Really depends on this. Nobody can say. That's $1 billion question. But this day, June 5th, it was a big technical and damage to the daily chart. So it's very difficult to predict where it's going to go because this was not a trading or fundamental thing. It was more like a political impact on the company.
Yeah, it's really hard to do technical analysis on Tesla. It's such a news driven stock.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a
So
meme stock too. People love to buy dips. Um, Fundamentals on it don't make sense, but people argue that one way or the other. Yeah, spies gone red on the day.
I mean, I think Elon Musk, there are some news that is already, under pressure by the board to step down. This was before even all of these political things happens. Definitely, there is pressure on him.
But the problem with his board is it's not really independent. I mean, he's got his brother on there. So, see, Hood was a good short at the open. I think Hood shares price dropped. Looked like they didn't get the nod for joining the S&P 500. There's your bounce back on the SPY. Some buyers are still there. Tesla's struggling.
Yeah, it's a complex, really. The situation is super complex right now. What we're having in Tesla. Obviously, nobody saw this thing coming with Elon Musk. Although one person tweeted last year, October, that exactly that happens. Like Elon Musk joins the government, talks about Dodge, and then he quits and tweets that he no longer supports the president. And then the Twitter war of the century starts between them. It was so funny. I saw it. One person could. That was amazing. Yeah. And all right. Other than that, honestly, everybody's scratching their hand. So somebody's asking, what's the strategy to add into your stock? So what you want to do is when the move starts moving in your favorite direction, like for example, in this case, let's go through TSLL. So you hope that this move starts to continue. On the pullbacks, you can add into your positions. So this was my first entry. This was a really nice move. Come pullback. Still, we have this previous day close as a very important target. So I added, on the pullbacks. You try to add it on the pullbacks. This here I added one more time, just because I thought that it's going to pop right away. Pulled back, and then you see, as you see here, I added again back on the pullback, and it continued, went higher again on this pullback. I added, popped up. You can add on the pullbacks. That's and usually when the trade happens in your direction and goes with a really heavy volume, or the chart patterns, like 5 minute really is bullish in this situation. You see here after this squeeze, this bullish engulfing that we have, you're having very serious higher lows and a 5 minute. So as you see here, the pattern is extremely bullish. So anyway, on the way you add to it, it's good. What you don't want to add, never ever, is adding to your losing position. Like for example, if you go short and the stock is going down and come back up, like for example, the trade that I did on Tesla, this is very important. Like this is the most important thing. Is what you don't want to do is you go short here, goes up, you add more, then you add more, then you add more, and then you add more on your short, and then you blow up your account. Because in this situation, it never really goes down. And people do this a lot. I've done it myself. So you really don't want to add to your losing position. And it's very, very important. Another thing that is very important is you should always have a sand in the line for your trading. Like, for example, I want to be short below the VWAP. I don't want to be short above the VWAP. So even if I go short here and it goes up and I add again here, this blue line is the sand in the line. This is the red line. If crossed it with heavy volume, as you see it did here, I have to get out of it, no matter I still have buying power, no matter I still have plenty of room to add into that or not. Because, when you cross the VWAP, it means that the whole balance of power between buyers and sellers have changed. And that's such an amazing gift to you. The one indicator tells you that, who's more in control of the price, buyers or sellers. So that's exactly what
Yeah.
happened. So my trade on
Have
NVIDIA here again.
VWAP,
So NVIDIA went up. Sorry, go ahead. Right. Go ahead.
yeah, I was just going to say VWAP is often a good area to watch for support and resistance as well, because it's typically an area where if a stock's coming up from underneath it, it'll reject there, or vice versa. If it's coming back down, pulling back on a run up, it could bounce there. So a lot of people actually have in their trade book something called a VWAP trade, which is basically using the VWAP for support or resistance. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so for example, on my trade NVIDIA, I went long, dropped to the VWAP, I added more, and then boom, when it lost VWAP significance, I got to stop out. And see, this is the line for me that I don't want to add here. And then when it came back up, I started adding long for the squeeze. And, but again, I had this standing line that below the VWAP, if it loses, I'm going to get a stopped out on it. So that was very important. Another person that calls Manju, do I trade SPI or SPX ETFs? No, I don't, because I'm more focused on the stocks in play that has more volatility. You can trade SPX calls or zero DT of SPIs, and because the move of SPI is like 0.1, 0.2%, and with the calls you can get 1 to 2% with zero DTE, but I'm not really focused on that. I mean, we have other traders like Avi and Phil that trading zero DTEs. I know Gary trades zero DTEs a lot, so he's coming on the chat room in 5 minutes. It's not just my style, like, because the market movements are not, when the market gets volatile, like QQQ, like in the bear market or liberation, that type of thing, then yeah, you can do the leveraged products of TQQ or SPXL, that type of thing. So Trade
Yeah,
Canada, how much do you
I don't
add?
mind.
Sometimes I double my position as well. Like sometimes I add 2 times of my early positions into my position. Depends on the trade situation. Brian, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was going to say I don't mind doing trades on the SPY and Q. Again, it just depends on what you're comfortable with. But my last trade here of the day was just taking this QQQ breakout, and I was trading the 530 calls. So, but yeah, it's hard to trade the actual index because it's such a expensive, $530. But it's much easier just to trade the 530 calls at $1.80 or $1.90, where that I guess 100 shares would be $180. But you can get a really nice percentage move on because I was basically partialing out of those at 230, which was um, you know what, 50 cents on $1.40. That's a 25% increase in price. Sometimes if there isn't anything really setting up nicely, and I see these, what I'll do is I'll mark the pre-market high and low on my charts, Qs and SPY, before the market opens, just so I can see where things are breaking out from. Yeah, we've got traders that do futures as well, for sure.
Thor is one of them. This coming
Thor loves
in
the
2 minutes.
E-minis.
Yeah, YouTube. Thor is a futures trader. He trades micro futures. He trades
Yeah,
options, not options, but the stocks as well. So he's
the
coming
E-minis. Yeah.
chat room. Yeah, he's coming chat room. Thor is coming to the YouTube. Sorry now. So we want to watch over of some diverse the trading experience that we have in the community to our YouTube members. So hopefully you can join us. And Paris and Gary are coming into the chat room for some time. We test it out and see how we experience these changes. Paris did a very nice trading today. Paris, can you share your final trades as well?
How important is it to have a direct access broker for scalping and opening range breakouts? Um, I mean, you don't necessarily need direct access. What you need is good trading tools that allow you to get in and out of a trade uh, quickly. I mean, what's your thought on that, Andrew?
Do what? Sorry.
Someone was asking, is it important to have direct access for a broker for scalping?
Interactive brokers. It's uh, uh, I think uh, interactive brokers is the best one that I'm using, and I highly recommend that. And I'm on the tier, the structure
Yeah,
for commission. Um, I highly recommend that. And of course, for platform, I'm using Dash Trader Pro, which is amazing for, hotkey setup. It's a very robust charting platform. It's super quick, super fast, data loading, and there's no delay and stuff. That's how I highly recommend. But it really depends on you can trade on Trading View as well. If your trading is super slow, that's
yeah.
also something that you can. So Paris is showing his trades on
Well, and
Tesla.
yeah, but Thor uses Thinkorswim, which I don't think is direct access, but it's got all the charting tools and then the easy in and out tools, getting in and out of a trade quickly.
Yeah, I think you're using it Thinkorswim just for some of the indicators and some of the charting. Some people use that. Some people have, Thinkorswim for some of the indicators that they have, but they do the execution on a different platform. Like I personally don't like that. I like to keep my indicators simple, and I don't have that many screens, so I want a three screen here. I like to do that. All right, I know Thor is here, so I'm going to hand it over
Yeah,
to Thor. I hope that you had a great trading day, Thor.
yeah,
Paris, congratulations on Tesla. You can
yeah.
also guys see Tesla trades that Paris did, the much better entry than me. And that concludes my trading day, guys. So I'll see you in the chat room, guys. See how
Well,
is
yeah,
situation.
yeah. See everybody. Wow, look at Tesla back at high of day there. Okay. All right, guys. Just be careful with Tesla. Could be a sell the news event after we get this robo taxi rollout, but we got a few days to go here, so could be a run up into that news event. All right, catch everyone later.
All right. Hey everybody, how's it going out there in YouTube land? Good to see everybody. Hopefully you can hear me okay. It's good to see everybody out there. What's up? Andrew was hoping I had a really good trading day. So far, not really. I actually had a really nice call. You should be able to see my screen here. As you can see, I've got micro gold futures going right now, and I actually did get short when we got up near the high here. It really looked like a good spot for a reversal on gold. So as most of you know, I primarily trade futures. I also got a really nice call today on NQ off the low, but I wasn't in love with the volume. So I didn't end up taking it, but look at this beautiful little S3 call we had here. Could have longed right around VWAP down here at S3, and it would have been a beautiful move. Also got a nice higher range reversal call here. So, just a little bit, thinking getting ready for the YouTube and all that stuff. I think we're having some fun. But so for anyone who's coming by YouTube, I wanted to take just a second to introduce myself. Say hi to everybody, kind of let you know what I do and what I'm into, and then I'm here for y'all, right? So basically the idea behind me coming to this segment from 11 to 12 is to bring you a little bit of what's behind the curtain in Bear Bull Traders to what's to out in front of y'all. So basically kind of like think of this as like an AMA kind of session, right? So I certainly will be trading while we're in here and taking trades, but I really only take like 1 or 2 trades a day. I trade futures and I tend to hold for a really long time. So it gives me a good opportunity to hang out with y'all, answer questions y'all are looking for. We can talk about the pivot system, my system, any questions you have from just in generality. And basically you now have an hour a day, Monday through Friday, where we get to hang out and talk a little bit, right? So how fun. So good to see everybody, and really excited to have you. Now, one thing that is going to be really important, and I know y'all are going to hate me to do this, but I'm going to be doing it. One thing that's really important is these guys, right? So if you guys like me hanging out with you and spending some time with you every single day of the week, we need to get this channel bumping, right? Because if we don't get the numbers up here and do that, they're just going to stick me right behind the paywall. You know what I mean? So, and I don't want to do that. I want to hang out with y'all. So make sure you hit the button, give me a little like action, make sure you're subscribed, and then get ready because I'm going to be here 11 to 12 every day. So, and if the numbers drop through the roof, then we'll know how that is. Okay. So, all right. So, I appreciate y'all. It's good to see everybody. Well, so let's go. So we're talking about Amazon and what I think for short right now on Amazon. Now, I don't currently have an active play on it. Now, and the reason why is we're a little low for me, right? So for me on Amazon, if I was going to short Amazon, I would want to be a little bit higher, close to 2016. So let's take a look at Amazon's order book and see if we can figure some stuff out. Now, for y'all that are in here with me, I am going to be continuously running NQ, which is the micro futures for the QQQs. I will be keeping the order book of that up and running at pretty much all times. So y'all can feel free to come by even if you're just looking to have a good indicator on your screen of what the market's doing. You can still see with the Qs, we are still actively buying, right? And we are still actively moving up a relatively well-structured order book to the top side. Right now, we do have a high side target of 21,900 on NQ. Now, if that happens, does that mean Amazon could push to 216.35? Sure does, right? So we want to keep an eye on that. Now, let's look at Amazon's book, and y'all tell me, what do you think about Amazon's book right now? So kind of taking a look in here. Look at what do you think right here? Selling was absorbed. We've been lifting. Look, we've got some orders, 215, 215 and a quarter, 215.50. Buying, not really much to the underside to get back to 214. Looks kind of bullish, right? It looks a little bullish right now. So again, if you were thinking about shorting right now, might be a reason not to do that, right? Because if we're going to be shorting this, you know, we're gonna want a better ladder down to 214, right? We do have some ladder under 214, right? But right now I'm not saying it's a buy, but I'm saying it's not a sell. You know what I mean? So let's keep an eye on NQ. NQ still got good ladder to 219. So one thing I was keeping an eye on is, if you'll notice on QQQs, our QQQs have our monthly R3 is 2 days ago's high, right, on QQQ, right? So you're talking like 532 or something like that, right? So we have a little bit of top side left before we get there. You know, this hat used to fit. Now it just kind of falls down. So we'll keep an eye on those. Doink, doink. Let's make sure those stay there. So yeah, so that's my thought. So I'll let you know. So I am running a scanner, by the way, for all of you. Right here, I'm running my pivot scanner, right? So anytime I get a play call that's coming in that matches my criteria, I'll let you know. Okay. So like, for instance, right now I've had a call on QQQ. I've had a call on oil, I've had a call on gold, and I've had a call on Netflix, right? So anytime I get a call that comes through, you'll actually see it come through on my screen. It'll bink right here, and it'll come up, and you'll be able to see it. So another sweet reason just to come by and hang out with me, and hang out, because if you'll get my calls coming out here as well. So I'm still holding that gold position. Let's see if we're making any progress on this one. No. See what I mean? It looked good when I got into it. You could kind of see we came up. I had a play call on it. It looked like it was offering, so I hit it at that new low, right? So I'm really happy with the trade overall, but I had a really great week last week. So of course I knew that if I came on YouTube today, my first futures trade on YouTube was undoubtedly going to be a loser, right? So I mean, why not? Of course it's going to be, right? So anyway, so you guys will get to see me win some, you'll get to see me lose some. So I like Ninja Trader. So the reason I used a mixture of platforms. Okay, my favorite platform as far as like quick executions, especially for equities, is going to be DOS, right? Direct access software. That's a really good one just because of how fast it is. You're going to pay for the power in that one, and it's great. Now, because I'm a futures trader, right, and I really don't need direct access. I don't need the quick executions. And I use a variety of brokers, right? I actually like trading through. This is TradingView is actually what I trade through, right? So and then this is Thinkorswim over here. So I have this is a Charles Schwab account running Thinkorswim, so I can get inexpensive bookmap. Tell a friend. And then I run my futures execution here because I can actually trade through my all of my brokers this way. I'll talk to you a little bit over the next couple of weeks about maybe how you can use a trade replicator in order to use multiple accounts, which is something I do. So we have all kinds of fun stuff we can chat about while we're doing this. So one of the things that you'll find for those of you who are just coming and joining the channel is you will find that I am an extremely different trader from Paris, Andrew, Brian, and those guys. And I don't know if you'll notice, but what do you think for most of you who are coming as the most significant way I am a different trader than those guys? You've probably already noticed if you're just staring at my screen and notice how little has happened. I trade lots of reversals. I'm a reversal trader more so than a continuation trader. I think that's very true. I use Camarilla pivot points, which is my preferred, and I'm a range trader, not a momentum trader, right? So which means I don't partial, right? So one thing you'll notice is this is why it's okay for me to hang out with y'all in chat, right? Because now that I'm in a position, I basically am just going to sit here and see where we're going to. I love the VPA for this reversal as well. I still felt like anytime we were moving up, we were always getting really good movement down on our red candles. Anytime we sold, I felt like we had better volume than when we bought, and our big buy candles were all truncated. So I really felt like we were kind of topped out here on gold. So I was really thinking the market was going to go into a trending or a counter trending breakout for Qs, which I still think it might, right? So, and if the Qs go into a breakout right now and run for it's like R3, try to go for like 532, 533, that should let gold sell for a little while. At least that's what my thought was on this one. So I'm playing short gold right now because I kind of thought the market was going to be strong. So, and of course I was right about the market, but wrong about gold. Good job, gold. Hey, Diego, I love you too. Good to see you. So I'm so excited to have everybody with me today. So I hope y'all are as excited as I am to be hanging out with you guys and gals for an hour today. Much love. You know, I love you more than I love Diego. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I just love you both. I love you both. Just kidding. No, this is a nice little warm welcome here. Y'all are so great. Shiki, so glad to hear that. Okay, so no play possible means there's no play possible, right? So if it says no play possible, you can just take that ticker and exit off your watch list for the rest of the day, right? It means ooh, look at that sell on Qs that just hit right off of R4. Wow. Let's go look at Qs real quick. Check out the hit we just had. So here's our R4. We have a higher range short setup right now on QQQ. We just rejected R4. This is an HE R4 extreme reversal from inside R3. This is actually a fairly A+ setup for this reversal. I like how we, basically set a head and shoulders pattern here. So it'll be really interesting to see if we can go into a sell. If we go into a sell here, it's a narrow range sell. Our projection would be a downside move, as it could go as low as yesterday close, right? Our ATR projection actually has this going as low as this, right? So it'd be a really, really good short opportunity up here if Qs really start to sell. But this is exactly where we'd be looking for a sell from. We also, look, almost made it to our monthly R3, right? Was that level we were really talking about, right? Getting up to that monthly level and then rejecting that. So for those of you who are unfamiliar, these are my Camarilla pivot plays that were coded by BruzzX into TradingView. So if you're looking for my cam system that follows my book, right, you can certainly come into here and do this. If you don't have access to TradingView, stand by. Hey, Bruz, welcome in. This is BruzzX, by the way, in the YouTube. He's the guy who coded my cams and the TV, so give him some love and say thank you. We have our plays in here and working. That way y'all can, get to them. They're free. They're just for you, but you can set alerts off of them. If you don't have access to TradingView, like I said, just come by here. I'm going to put them up and look at them for you, but look at how beautiful this rejection is from here today. I mean, come on. How do you like them cams? You know what I'm saying? So if you want to know how to use the cams and what these plays are, all you got to do is come by Bear Bull Traders, obviously. I'm constantly putting out new material. If you go to the indicators site through Trading, you'll see stuff like this screenshot is here that explains what the different plays are and how to get to them. So just to make things a lot easier, we know that trading is very, very complicated. We know picking directionality is very, very difficult, right? So we really don't want to bother you with all of that, right? It's called the Camarilla Pivot Plays, and it's by BruzzX. So the current set that I'm on right now, which will be released probably next week, right? I'm in a development version. We have a new version that's going to come out for you for next week. So it's going to look a little different than this, and it's going to have this options preset in it. And check how fancy we're making this. If you want the TradingView cams to match and use defaults that you want to set, you could do that. You can set it so it matches the DOS platform. If you're trading and executing through DOS, you can hit it so it actually calculates and matches the same way DOS's does. You can click on it if you want to match TOS for futures calculations, especially if you don't like the weird variations. And then lastly, we are going to have what we call Thor mode, right? So basically, anytime I change my settings, I will update them with Bruz, and Bruz will update Thor mode. That way, as long as you have Thor mode selected, you'll always have my settings. Anytime there's an update in TV, you'll get an update wheel. You can click update and get Thor mode every single time updating. So it makes it super easy. So for this week, stay patient with me, right? Because we are in dev mode on Thor mode. As soon as that's ready, I'll push it. But if you want to know what settings I'm using, obviously I can cut that. But you can see how well these bad boys work. Look at that. Beautiful test, sweep, and then the new low. I mean, right there, beautiful spot to get short and give this thing a try. You know what I mean? Which probably means my gold trade isn't going very well. Well, that's disturbing. So, well, I hope y'all enjoy your QQQ short while my gold trade goes horribly. So you're welcome. Don't forget to tip your waiter. No, I'm not excited that I came on YouTube. This is just so BBT gets more memberships. You know, Mike, why? I hope so. I really do hope we get more memberships. And the reason why I'm saying that, two reasons. One, if it works, then I get to stay out here more, right? If it doesn't work, then I probably just go back there. So because I mean, I'm sure that is kind of the idea, right? So, but, and then the other thing is I want BBT to stay healthy. Bear Bull Traders is the only trading community that I've ever belonged to. Still to this day, never been affiliated with or paid to be in any other trading community, right? So, I mean, it's a lot to ask for all of this information and all this stuff just to be thrown out in the ether for free, right? I mean, everyone needs to there's a lot of expenses to cover. There's massive servers, there's developments, there's all kinds of cool stuff. I mean, it's a business. We got to make money. So I'm here, hopefully help. Hopefully I help me. Hopefully I help you. Hopefully I help BBT. Hopefully I don't lose money on gold, but that's not looking very good. So, but yeah, just kind of keep that in mind, bud. But I appreciate what you're saying. You know what I mean? I get it. I get it. You know what I mean? But we got to do it. You know what I mean? We got to get those likes in here. We got to do the subscribing thing. I got to shill and say that, because then if that happens, then I get to call out QQQ shorts like this one. Right? Look at this. I mean, I told you guys it was a perfect spot for a short. I mean, I should have taken it. I wish I wasn't long in gold right now. I probably would have, but I mean, there it is. Right off of R4. HE played, called by the indicator. I mean, really nice. Look at the volume spike. You know what I mean? We had a reoffer. The reoffer was on really weak volume. I mean, this has a lot of good stuff. Good solid flush here. Algorithmic, right? So that's the thing we're going to really be focusing on a lot during, my segments is, right, is I want to start working towards maybe changing the way some of y'all look at the market, right? A lot of the time, what we don't realize is this is all algos, right? Like this is all algo stuff. Like, oh, how did this happen? It's algos. You know what I mean? These are just computers, right? There's very few specialists right now that are actually actively interacting with tickers on a regular basis, especially market ones like Qs and SPY, right? The vast majority of all of this movement is all being done by computers, right? So if you can really dial in and know what to look for and start, instead of trading, we're not really trading tickers, we're not really trading investment vehicles, right? We're just kind of observing computers. And when the computers do a thing, we do what they do. You know what I mean? So kind of keep that in mind, as you're starting to go through this. It's a lot more precise than you want. Kind of think about it like as like the Matrix. You know what I mean? Like it's, by the time, hopefully within the next like couple of weeks to a couple of months of all, hanging out, by the time you guys are done hanging out with me, you're not going to see like, up candle or down candle. You're going to see like, red dress, green dress, right? So no, am I getting banned for stealing that? So, but look at this beautiful counter trend we're starting to go into, right? Rejection right off of here. I mean, but we had ourselves an S3 call to start. Now we have ourselves an R4 reversal call here. Both valid plays in this range. And look at us go. Man, oh man, I wish I'd have taken it. This is the desktop version, but the web version works just as nice. It also works really great. Once you get it all set up and running, that QQQ call came through on my cell phone also, right? So, I mean, I could have just as easily have had this thing popped up, pulled open a chart, right, and been prepared to hit that right off of my cell phone, right? It's all right there. So this is, we got the technology, we're putting in the effort. There is no other community out there that's I'm not gonna sell you any of these indicators. I already want to sell you my book, right? So I'm not gonna sell you the indicators. You know what I mean? I just want you guys to use this stuff. It's good stuff. And I really think the more of us use it and the better it gets. I just think the algorithm's gonna respond even better. My system is completely based around trading where we expect to see algorithmic responses to value. You know what I mean? So all I'm looking is, it's basically like, think of it as like an open, low, high, and close concept, just with some Fibonacci on top of it, and maybe a sprinkle of volume, and we call it happy. Hey, Matthew, good to see you, buddy. I'm so excited to be working with you as well. So we do have a new wait list is going to be up on Trading Terminal pretty soon for that. But right now you can find that off my personal mentoring site. I'm sure someone can share that in here. I don't like blasting on her, but you'll find me. Or shoot me an email, thor@bearbulltraders.com, pal, and I can shoot you the link. Hood long? Let's take a look at it. All right. So It is interesting that Hood is deciding to continue rallying even though the Qs have rolled over. Now, one thing I don't like about Hood is the ATR deviation today already. So we've already had a really big drop to the downside, and we're basically pulling back to our ATR extension to the low end, right? So I would not expect to rally on a day like this. At least it just doesn't really feel right. Now, on top of that, we are also we're above the CP in more of a buying range than a selling range right now. So if I was gonna, so I don't mind the idea, but like, so I don't know if you guys are familiar with like a kill zone, right? So this is more or less what I would consider to be like a kill zone. So let me get my drawing pen up here real quick. There we go. So for me, I consider this to be more SMCI just called. This is more of what I would consider to be a kill zone. So what do I mean? So when we go from R3 to S3, you're basically going from resistance to support like this and support to resistance like this, right? So the spot you don't really want to trade in is this area here, right? Because this is where this happens. So right now, even though it looks strong, it actually would be better to let it come up to here. And since it's a lower range, you could look for it to maybe break through pre-market high and see if you can find that seller there and sell back towards S3. Since it's a wide range, right, we're going to expect to close inside the range, right? So think about that when it's narrow versus wide. Narrow ranges, we expect to go out. Right? Narrow ranges, wide ranges, we expect to come back in. Right? So this is a wider range and it's a lower range. So our ideal play target here would be a short right near R3. Right? So I'd like to see it sweep pre-market high, find a really nice big sell signal there, reoffer, and then hit it short somewhere right around here with a stop above, premium even 74, run that stop all the way down to 73, or that target all the way down to 73. The short on this will, in fact, be a liquidation down to S4, however. So you could easily get a movement at that point down to S4. That'd be a really beautiful move. From here, even if you went long, I feel like you'd probably end up hitting lots of waterfalls as you try and get up. It's going to be a real big pain. So I'd let it get higher and then see if you can catch a flush off of it. If not, I'd probably leave it alone. AMD, let's look at AMD. So criteria for a trade for me is not very complicated. So generically, so my alerts take care of the vast majority of the heavy lifting. So like, let's say I know SMCI just alerted. So SMCI for me, it's going to alert as an R6 reversal. Right? So it went outside of R6. Now, because it swept out of R6, I actually really don't care for this one as an actual reversal, although it looks like it's setting up well. But you can see we went outside and came back in through volume and pulled back. So for me, if all I would really need to see since the play is called is a weak reoffering to this high, and then I would short here and through my stop above VWAP. And that's really about all I would need. The thing I don't like here is as we sold, the volume seems really weak. So I don't know if I'm in love with this one. I would have preferred it to stay under the price and sweep up, but it's not bad. Now it is a narrow range. So if this actually works, I'd be looking for a movement all the way down to S6. So you'd be talking about a movement to like 40, 75, somewhere down here. Be one heck of a move. I got stopped out of gold, so boo. I hit a nice YM trade in the free market or after hours yesterday, so started off really nice. So I might take one more trade if we get a good opportunity, but I do like that this play is still on. I still may actually try this short again if it gets a good setup and try it one more time, and if it doesn't work, we'll just call it a day. I only take like 1 or 2 trades a day. My trades, when they work, I generically hit 4R, 5R, really nice profits on my trades. So what I don't like doing is overcommitting to days, especially if you think about like we're making new highs after 10:30, which statistically normally means we close on this side. And then on top of that, the Qs, I really wish I had just hit Qs in Q short up here. It was a really nice opportunity, or not in Q, sorry, what was it? It was ES, I think. Now, you see the futures didn't fit right. It was QQQ that actually fit. So I guess I should have gone equity. There it is. That was the QQQ short right off of R4, was really pretty. So yeah. So mine are gonna look a little different than yours because I'm on a development version of my indicator. So basically, all you're gonna do though is just go into your alerts and hit the plus. And then what I do is I set mine to my entire watch list. The condition is going to be Camaria pivot plays. Mine says any alert, but for yours, I would just put entry alerts only. And then whatever interval you choose. I like 5-minute and then leave it open-ended. And then you just put it on there and let it run. It does the rest. So let's say I'm going to try this trade again, right? So I've got a big buy candle and then another buy, right? So what I'd like to see is a sell candle that really breaks this low. And then I'm going to look for a weak reoffering and then I'll hit it short and get my stop up here. So for me, if I want to run 3 contracts, if you put a limit here to sell, you can see if I shorted somewhere around here, my stop loss on $200, right, is going to be somewhere outside of the range. So I'm okay with that. But that's actually a little wide for me on this one. So why not just go ahead and get 4 on this one and tighten that up a little bit? Right, so I'd like to see a sell well here, right? And then I can get to a target, to get to like an $800 target. I'd really only need to get back to about the CP. So that seems pretty reasonable as far as a position. So now that I have that kind of metric in, I can go ahead and flip into a market, and then my brackets are saved, right? In here. And I can kind of sit here and wait and see, you know, what we're going to have going on here. You can even set this as a preset, right? You can say, you know, MGC 4, risking 200 or something like that, and save that. That way, if you want to, you can have that away, and then you can just have it right here. You can go in here and grab it. Here's the MGC. You can load that order, and now it's ready to go. Central pivot. Yeah, I use Edgeful quite a bit. Edgeful's a great platform. You're getting filled above the ask price when you're using a limit order. I'm not entirely sure. That I would notify your platform on that. You could be using a marketable limit. I would check your TIF or your flag type and see what kind of an order you're using, if you're actually using a limit or if you're using a market limit. So it'd be like, you know, because there's some marketable limits that they fire on a price when it's hit, but it still fires a market. We are buying quite well right now. So the other thing I'd like to see for a short here too, right, is I would really like to see like a really large sell. You know, I mean, right now, like, or a market structure shift of some sort. Right now, it just seems like we're actively buying on this thing. So unfortunately, today might just be a red day for us today, you know? Hope y'all are okay with red days. I have them. You know, I used to not have them. It was really fun. But I have them all the time now. But I make more money than I used to. So I guess it's a trade-off, right? Actually this week. I'm gonna send around this week. So I had to clear a couple of new peeps out. Had to get some orientations done. Sorry to hear that. I mean, it's just such a great spot for this trade. I would love to catch a short here on gold. I really think I should have just cut this thing when it lost the short-term trend and it came back up. I should have just got rid of it. But one of the things with being a range trader is, you know, we re-offering, huh? One of the issues with being kind of a range trader, is I've never, I don't know, y'all, are y'all with me on this one? I've never been like super good at reading price action. I know y'all are gonna miss Paris a little bit, right? Because, one thing that was awesome about that guy was like how well he could read price action. You know what I mean? Like it was just spectacular. Like his ability to read absorption on the tape and all those different things always just completely like mesmerized me. So, but to overcome that ability, you know what I mean? I had to just be kind of I kind of went to range trading, right? I'm good at finding areas where we sell. I'm good at finding areas where we buy. Not really so good at like all that other fancy stuff. So, you know? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and try that one right there since we got that nice little new low there, and we'll see what happens. So if this one we'll see if we make anything happen here. If it buys off of this and breaks out of the range, then I'll stop out of it and we'll call it done. Paris is the GOAT, Diego. That guy is something special. So, and keep that in mind too. So Paris, as well as Gary L, right, who's one of our new up and coming mods, has really been killing some different stuff. They're obviously still presenting. They're just doing it every day in BBT. So if y'all miss Paris and you're like, oh, I miss him so much, might be worth taking the plunge, coming and hanging out with the guy. Yeah. Yeah, you have to have the premium plan in TV. So Trade Canada, the best way to learn the pivot system is to, I have it detailed out in my book. It's probably the easiest way. Obviously, if you're a member of the Bear Bull Traders community, like I'm doing a presentation tomorrow night on one of the plays, right? So, if you're a member of the BBT community, then then obviously you can get to the vast majority of this information just by hanging out or come by here. I'm going to be trading, 11 to 12. And as you guys can see, I trade like one position, like, at a time. Very kind of chilled trading style. It's maybe a little boring sometimes. So it's a perfect time for y'all to come by and, ask questions. One of the things as a new trader, I think is really hard to get is actually just finding someone you can hang out with and talk about trading and ask questions and, having if you're having trouble finding a mentor or someone to chat with, I'm here every day. So come by and ask me anything you want. And, we'll make some money together, probably lose some money together and all that fun stuff. So this heat map indicator down here, it's called the HMV volume, and it's by this guy here, XDE Cal. Nobody I'm affiliated with. And then I used the default settings actually. I just switched it from heat to up and down, and I made my own color profiles for the up and down. So basically, the brighter the color, the more aggressive the movement. Or the higher the volume, I should say, not the more aggressive the movement, the higher the volume. The brighter the color, the higher the volume. What I did is I went ahead and re-entered short here on this one because we got the new 5-minute low. Right, I was really liking that. I got stopped out here, but then it just chopped around and consolidated, and then we sold well, and then kind of absorbed and made the new low. So I went ahead and tried this one again. But like I said, I had a winning trade this morning. I actually did an after-hours swing on was it? Oh no, it was 2K. Hold on. I actually did a really nice after hours swing on 2K that ran all the way to target here. So I woke up this morning and first thing in the morning up like, up like a K. So, and I bought that one way down here. Where are you? There we are. So, and just set this on a wide run and just kind of held it through the evening. Luckily with, futures, you can use stops after hours. So I already had a really nice day. I made some good money. So I'll give this like one more try here. And if not, I'll just call it technically it'll be a green day. So it'll just be kind of like, I was really hoping I'd get a nice trade for everybody, but whatever. IBKR to trade futures is not difficult. You just log into the portal. Just log into the IBKR's portal. And there's like I'm trying to remember, in there it says like interested assets or something like that. So you get into the assets that you're interested in trading, and then you'll see like stocks, options, futures, and you can just literally toggle the one you want. If it's doesn't let you do it, maybe try messing around with some of the financial sections of it. I only do basically 4-to-1 holds on my positions. I never partial. So what do you think about Microsoft? Let's look at it. Better than looking at gold right now. I mean, it basically already made most of its run, but it's a narrow range. So I do think that it is possible that you could run out the top side of R3. Look at the size of the order at 472. It certainly looks like it wants 472 right now. Unless, I mean, the only issue you're having right now is the Qs is basically like selling. So since the Qs keep selling, Microsoft's just not getting any gas. So it looks very strong otherwise, like it wants to go up. There was a large absorption event at the open that I'm not like totally in love with. It looks like they fed the market a lot of premium. So that does indicate that we could be interested in selling off. So and then the Qs are rolling as well. So hey, nice to meet you too, Avish. No, so Avinash, I am not very well versed in Bitcoin. I also really suck at options. But I mean, I can certainly pull up like certain order books, and the CAM system does work in those, and I have seen it work quite well. So, but yeah, you would definitely be outside my specialization, I would say, in that area. PLTR. Nice, Percival. A little bit of an overshot, but I love the reoffer and the hold. I mean, it still could keep going. Like, I don't really see like a VPA signal that says it's done moving. Am I stopped out yet? I actually like the indecision or this high volume inverted hammer here. Q Dumb and Dumber. So you're saying there's a chance. We'll see what happens. HA and HE is a direct reference to the play, right? So when this says LA, this is lower range, play A, right? Which is the R3 to S3 traversal. If you're looking at my screen on here, you won't need to know that. But if you had it on your own, it helps. So if you go to the indicators website, which is at TV, you'll see this is here, this little guy right here. So the H means higher, and then A through F fits the varied plays. And this is the preferred opening position as well as the sweeping action for each one of the plays. So kind of think of like with my system, kind of think of yourself as like a wide receiver, right? You know, and I'm your receiving coach. You know what I mean? I've already told you all the routes to run, and how they're supposed to be run. So if you can really lock in to that and really run the routes as well as you can, you'd be very surprised with, you know, how well those things can happen. Look at Microsoft here. See what I'm saying? It looked like it wanted to pull to that big order, didn't it? Here goes Q's bouncing. Let's see if Q's bounces. That'll let Microsoft run for 472. Remember, when you're trading QQQ, you're basically trading Apple, Microsoft, or NVIDIA, right? The Qs are just going to follow the lead of one of those major participants, right? So when did I stop doing partials? It's a really good question, right? So I stopped doing partials when there was a time period about 2.5 to 3 years ago where I went through this amazing time period of basically not having any red days for about a year. It was pretty awesome. However, there was something that also wasn't happening. I wasn't making any money. You know what I mean? Like I had these beautiful green day streaks. You know, I would never hardly ever lose money. I just wasn't really making money, right? Like I really just wasn't making money. Like it was nice to be green, sure, but I was never really making money. 1 hour a day, 2 hour a day, 1 hour a day, 2 hour a day, break even, 1 hour, break even, 2 hour, break even, right? All it would take was one decent losing day and I would obliterate like a week, you know, or just underperform and stagnate. It was very frustrating, especially being in, you know, kind of in the light here with lots of people going, hey man, if I had your hit rate, man, I would just, you know, and I was kind of like, no, you wouldn't, you know. So what I found as I went through all of my stats and all my trades is that basically so what would happen is, let me illustrate this. Maybe it'll make more sense. If you keep an eye on my screen here. So if you get into it, let's say you're going to play a range here from here to here, and you're going to do a head and shoulders. It comes down here, it goes up, it comes back down, it goes like that. Boom, right? There you go. Let's say you get short here and your stop is here. Your 4-to-1 target is going to be somewhere around here. But like, let's say at 2R, right? So which is right about here, you take half off. Help me out with the math here, people, because you know I really stink at this, right? I don't trade earnings at all, no. Let's say you take half off, right? Let's say you're risking $100 at your risk. Your break even is here, which I don't really recommend using. But let's say you're risking $100 here, your break even's there, and now you take half off at 2R. Half off at 2R means you've netted 1R. Now that you've netted 1R, how far do you need the price to go in order for you to get to where you are now at 2R? How far distance off of this stop do you need to get just so that you can get to a total of 3R, but get so that you can take another 2R? You need to move another full 2R, right? So you're now going to need to get all the way to 4R. And if you take half off at 4R to net another 1R, you now need a movement to 8R to close out to make 4R total. Right? So how many of you, are you aware, do you often make it to 8R on a trade? It can be why you add to your trades. It can help. It just depends on if you're good at reading price action, which I'm not, Ben. You know what I mean? Like so for me, anytime I add, right, if let's say we get to half R, I take the half off, it pulls back, I add in, it's going to come and it's going to stop me out. Right? And then I'm only going to net the 1R. Right? Because I'll be out. Right? I never hit 8R, by the way, for the record. I've had like one 8R trade in my entire life, I think. Right? I never hit 8R. But how often do you hit that 4R? where you get that second partial you take. How often do you hit that one? All the time, right? Not all the time, certainly a lot more often than 8R, right? So how often do you hit 3R? I think 3R, by the way, is the money for most people. I think the vast majority of newer traders, 3R is a pretty sweet spot. I highly recommend targeting 3R, gaining confidence, and then pushing for 4R, right? But I found in my personal stats, I hit 3R about 70% of the time, and I hit 4R about 60% of the time, where I hit 8R about 0% of the time, right? So it just never made sense for me to try and partial going for 8R because I was never going to hit it, right? So it's grand schemes to partial, I guess, but just never there. Adding, anytime I'd add, my stop comes inside the range, I get stopped out, I don't get back in. Wouldn't consistently make money adding ever. Not saying you can't, and there aren't people who do. I'm just talking about my personal experience, right? So for me, what I decided to do was instead of going for 8R or partialing, I would just go for 4R. Now, why 4R and not 3R? Here's an interesting tidbit. At 3R, I have a 70% hit rate. At 4R, I have a 60% hit rate, right? If I have a 70% hit rate at 3R and at 4R, I have a 60% hit rate, right? Then that means out of every 10 trades, right, I'm going to lose 3, I'm going to make 7, right? I'm going to win 7. On this one, I'm going to lose 4, I'm going to make 6, right? This is 24, this is 4, this is 21, this is 3, right? This is 17R, this is 20R. Cha-ching, right? I can lose 10%, 1 out of every 10 trades. I can lose more trades than I can win, and I can make more money, right? Just by following my stat, right? But this is my stat, right? For many people in the market, you're going to experience maybe better at 3R. Maybe you're good at 2R and not 3R. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you just need the consistent, right? Oh, I was going to be a med student in a different life, obviously, James, right? Because my chicken scratch is only worthy of like a doctor's penmanship when writing a prescription, right? So, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, oh, I'm going to prescribe risperidone for my daughter. There's your prescription, right? So, and you're just like, I'm sorry. Can someone please tell me what that's all about, right? So that was the reason why I kind of went to the way I went as it comes to recommend for someone who don't have the funds like myself. I'm confident on trading enough to make that jump. Okay, Eric, are you looking at futures or equities? Right. So one of the issues with equities is equities doesn't have a lot of prop firms out there. Right. And, you know, and BBT, I think, is a really good one for equities, but I think BBT is also very honest about what the idea should be. Right. It's a training tool, right? Not really like a lifetime funding solution. I wouldn't recommend in the long run ever using a funded broker as a lifelong option, but I do think while they're in existence, why not? Right. I do think it is always better to try and kind of come up with your own capital in order to be trading with, because that gives us the freedom we're all really looking for as traders. That being said, if you're trading futures, right, there are quite a few fundeds out there. I would recommend taking some time and just breaking them down. You can ask ChatGPT. Like, literally, if you just go into ChatGPT and say, hey, ChatGPT, do a quick breakdown of all the major future funded brokers for me and their advantages and disadvantages, it will tell you everything you need to know, right? So some of them have better commission tiering, but they're really hard to get payouts out of. Other of them are really easy to get payouts, but their commission tiering stinks, right? You share a lot of your commissions with some of these, right? Now, when you're talking about real proprietary firms, now you're really getting into some trouble. Like I don't know. Y'all are gonna, I don't know. Maybe you're with me, maybe you're not with me on this one. I did not come to be a trader because I wanted to have a boss, right? Ironically, I have a boss. His name is Andrew. And I work with his community, but it only for Andrew. I work for Andrew because he's like one of the greatest people like I know. But like only for Andrew. I swear if Andrew ever gets rid of me, I will never have another boss. And I wouldn't have worked for anybody, but again, Andrew, you know, what are you going to do? You can't, is anybody in here able to say no to this guy? You just let me know if you could say no to him, please, because I'd like to learn how. So you know what I'm saying? But you know, I got out of IT, I got out of the daily grind. I have a special needs daughter. You know what I mean? So I got into this trading thing because I wanted the freedom, right, of not having a boss and all of those things. So it's, so kind of keep that in mind when you go for your funding, right, as well. You know, if you don't have the funding, one of the things I may recommend is just stay with the free tools and keep learning. You know, I mean, the market's going to be here for a really, really long time. You know what I mean? Maybe focus on that daily grind a little bit, and you know, you really don't need a lot of money. You know what I mean? Especially with futures, if you can get 5 or 10K slapped together, you know, you can get into some of these brokers and start making some money. You know, IBKR with 10K, I mean, you can start trading futures and make a few $100 a day, and then just take your time. You know, I mean, I think a lot of the issue a lot of people try and make as they come into this. Yeah, absolutely, Tony. Be here every day, man. I think you know, a lot of the times when we come into this thing, we just come in like we really want to get in here and we really want to make money. And you certainly can. There is a lot of money to be made in retail and futures, equities, options. It's all here, but it's maybe not as easy like as we all thought it was going to be when we got here. And the reason why it's not easy is not technically, it's because of the performance aspect, right? One of the things we're going to talk a lot about with me here from week to week with y'all is we're going to talk a lot about performance. You know, as I start to wrap, I want to tell you all a little bit about what y'all can kind of expect in this hour. This isn't just going to be a Thor trading hour. Although I will be the primary trader and taking trades and doing all this stuff, I actually am going to be asking some of my trading buddies to come by during this segment as well. I'm going to try and have my buddy Nathan in here. I'm going to try and have Carlos from the pre-market show come in here and hang out with me. I'm also putting some feeders out to try and have some cool guests on here, like Anna Cooling, as well as, you know, maybe Dr. V. Bear Bull Traders is up and coming psychology coach that everyone's really enjoying working with. You know, I mean, I'm going to try and bring you guys some real fun stuff. We can really, Camaria Pivot Plays. I'm going to try and bring y'all some real fun stuff, some real fun aspects to this trading segment, so you have a reason to come by day after day and hang out. Otherwise, keep in mind, I'm going to have the NQ and the ES pretty much running up here at all times. So if you're just looking for a, you know, an only slightly delayed version of where we at, notice on the ES how we're completely out of orders to the top side right now. Another reason why we're having trouble going up. All right, so just kind of keep all those things in mind. But I'm really looking forward to having everybody in here and hanging out with me. And, you know, hope y'all all really enjoy having me in this segment. Keep that in mind. Feel free if you need me. Shoot, you know, you can always shoot me an email, thor@bearbulltraders.com. Do understand I am notoriously horrible at answering those emails. So if it's a real question that you really want to have answered, just bring it by here in the room. I mean, it's literally going to be an AMA every single day when we're just hanging in here talking about stuff. So absolutely. Thank you. So don't forget, throw me a little thumbs up action. Don't forget to subscribe. You know what I mean? Make sure my boss man knows that you want me to be in here. If you really want Paris in here instead of me, make sure you write Andrew and complain and just say, we like Paris, we hate Thor. Thor's the worst, Paris is the best. Paris has better hair than Thor. He has better complexion. He has a better smile. He partials. You know, whatever you want. Whatever you want. You know, we want to know what you want. Right. So, but I'm looking forward to y'all hanging out and coming by. So we want to bet, you know, I'm going to beg Paris to come by with me every now and again anyway, right? And just hang out during this the segment. I do have the superior beard game. So let's not forget I have the superior beard game. And continue. Maybe we could make up some different things around this. You know, maybe we could auction off how, you know, if we hit so many likes in a special day, I could just shave it or something. I mean, we'll figure out some stupid things to do to make this really fun. You know, so anyway, all right. I'm going to call it morning. I really hope you all enjoyed hanging out with me. Again, subscribe, thumbs up, all that good stuff. Much love to my guy Carlos for running background for me. Any questions, shoot me an email. Talk to you later. See you tomorrow.